Hello and welcome everybody to DC30 and our Mythic Odyssey of Theros, D&D with an ancient Greek twist. I'm your Dungeon Master Romeo, and I'm joined as ever by Tamara, Rebecca, Virla, Morse, and Ali. Your favorite Leonin is working this evening, unfortunately, but she's with us in spirit. I will be Jaegering her, and she'll join us hopefully very soon on the next session. I don't have any announcements today, per se, unless you guys do. I'm kind of okay to get stuck in. Right. So, when last we left off, you guys had arrived home to Meletis, freshly triumphant from your journey to the Golden Valley of Oreskos, where you slew Baragon, Amalia's father. Eager to catch up after nearly a month away, you first headed to the Lodge of Nelia, the temple/hunting guild you've taken contracts from before. You found the place virtually surrounded by 100-strong platoon of Meletian hoplites, fully armed and armored. Your initial worries were alleviated as they recognized you as the polemarch in charge explained that they were guarding the Oracle. Said Oracle, of course, was Tanis, the young girl you picked up as a castaway on a small island you happened to sail by a little while ago. She had returned from her stay in Glossion, where the Oracle there had taken up the task of teaching her how to use her abilities. You met the Oracle of Glossion, for she had actually come with Tanis to see her home. Zoe was her name, and she was as wise as she was beautiful. Sorry. Later, after many of you visited family and friends, you went to the shop known as the Crucible, hoping to catch up with Daxos, and to learn a bit more about some of the items you picked up along the way. Daxos was not the only one there, as you ran into Eslin at the shop. She had settled nicely with her family in the city, making a lovely new life for herself. She had some gifts, including royalties for the merchandise of you guys she had been selling. You then presented Daxos with the trident head that came free from Baragon's ice spear, and together he and Eslin discovered it to be a piece of the first weapon known as Dekela, the trident of Thassa. Eslin actually rushed home and returned with metal fragments that she had found back in Vashiros. She laid them out next to the trident head, forming the haft of this weapon. With Eslin's blessing, Xanthia, you kept hold of these pieces, and you all joined Eslin for a dinner party to catch up and to truly celebrate. After a wonderful evening of laughter, games, and music, you all ventured to your separate places of rest within the city. And that's where we come to now. So, Bithynia. You are sound asleep in your apartment, for lack of a better term, in Meletis, in the slightly more presentable sector, as in the slightly nicer district of the city. You are suddenly awoken. You hear a dull but unmistakable thud. And the whole house shakes ever so slightly. It jostles you awake.
And coming up from my sleep, I'm going to grab onto Couplet, who I think has returned.
Oh yeah, Couplet's... Yeah, so you summoned a Couplet back ages ago, and Couplet's kind of just...
And be like, all right, guy, we gotta go. We gotta go to the roof. So she's gonna make her way up out of the bedroom, let herself upstairs to the rooftop garden that I have.
Yeah.
Where I normally park Plummet, so hopefully they're safe.
You step out onto your balcony and go up there's a short little flight of stairs that goes up from the balcony onto the roof. And you sort of step up there. You see Plummet. Plummet's fine, which is interesting because Plummet is currently sharing the roof space with a massive feline creature. Muscle-bound with enormous wings currently furled up on its back. Only where you might see a cat's face, you see the face of a wizened sage of an older man, sporting a beautiful headdress made of ornate brass and silver. You immediately recognize this individual. Medomai, the Sphinx. Your patron, both in an endorsement of your journey through academia, journey through the world, and of your power. Comfortably just sits there, like perched almost like a cat would, were it not for the fact that sort of a face that just radiates ancient wisdom in his sort of sage-like appearance, just stares at you and smiles.
Hello, child. It's been a while. You look well.
Oh, thank you.
Your voice acting is on fire tonight.
I was so tempted to like reveal it ahead of time. I was like, no, I'm gonna just drop this on them.
Have you got an argon balloon like under the desk?
Oh yeah.
I'm just imagining Tom Holland when he was trying to use his interrogation mode and just couldn't be heard or understood at all.
I'm understandable, right?
Yeah, we got you. I mean, I've never heard you be more masculine, and it's kind of a turn. I'm not gonna lie. Got me.
Fuck.
Stream hall. Gotta go. Okay, so
I was hoping that was gonna like transition to a more regal thing than it ended up being, but you know, can always count on you guys. Okay.
I appreciate that your expectations are higher than ours.
Thank you. But yeah, he just looks at you with that sort of wizened smile and says,
Come, let us converse.
And so Pathinia's going to step forward so that she's closer and she has no fear. This, Sphinx is looming over her as big as he is.
He sort of rests into that sort of perch position that a cat would when they're sort of sitting down, and just seems to look at you with rapt attention.
So we've had quite the adventure recently. Are you familiar with all of these things that have gone on?
I see many things, but tell me anyway. I might have missed something.
Well, there were some things that were acquired that we brought back to the university, some debts that were paid for families, and a most recent interaction with an oracle that's here in the city with a garrison, interestingly enough.
The powers of foresight make one a target for many parties of interest. Some less for the side of benevolence than others.
Well, benevolence is something that we definitely have come into more often than not, but with these individuals that I have recently met in the last few months, we definitely have been able to hold our own with your excellent guidance as well as the support that they have in person and outside of our area of expertise.
You have done well. You have all done well. Tell me, what have you learned from all these experiences?
I've learned to never underestimate the power of working together And not being ashamed of taking or making the most of a situation if or when a person's unable to. Because at the end of the day, it still helps the group.
Wisdom is a mighty thing, but derived from a single source, it can become rigid and stale. True power comes from drawing your strength from many places. Yes, very good.
He sort of just gives you a nod of acknowledgement, just generally expressing an aura that he is pleased with your success.
Is there anything else that you would bestow upon me or have guidance on, knowing what you do know from these last few months of travel?
He thinks for a moment.
You know very well, child, that an answer without a question is ultimately not of much use. Ask the right questions. You'll find your answers.
He, at this point, sort of couplet, like, comes to, like, nestle up by your ear. Medomai smiles and says,
Such a loyal companion. Truly the perfect little assistant.
Yes, and if I can see to it, Couplet will have a new collar in the future for additional support and protection.
Perhaps I can see to that a little as well.
he raises a sort of like a clawed hand and just does like a curling motion like that, and you watch as his eyes glow a brilliant borderline white blue, and then Couplets do the same. And then you watch as Couplet just hops down as if sort of like pulled to Medomai, but sort of just stands there in the middle of the terrace. And all of a sudden, it's not like a sickening metamorphosis, but you hear like a faint sound of growth. And Couplet seems to just elongate ever so slightly, gets a little bigger, a little thicker in her limbs, a slightly longer tail. Couplet flexes and then just does a little loop-de-loop in the air and perches back on your shoulder. Noticeably just that little bit heavier.
Bethany is going to notice it and be like, what?
And I will link it onto the player's board. Or what would be the best way to... Yeah, probably player's board is probably going to have to be it. But going forward, you can use the following stat block for Couplet instead of the regular Tressum one. And of course, this doesn't work.
And Bethany is going to nod, making eye contact with Couplet and back at the Sphinx in front and be like, thank you. All help is always appreciated, and your guidance has never left me astray.
Only because you always know how to apply it. So yeah. Oh wait, shit.
So yeah. Oh, I gotta keep on top of that. But yeah, so if you go into the player's notes tab, you will see Couplet's new stat block that is there for your use.
You said which tab? Because I've got general, game channel, secret spot.
Legend Keeper specifically. I would send it on Discord, but I can't right now. Otherwise, I would lose visual.
Okay, you're good. You're good. Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you again. Is there any other parting information that you think that would be relevant for me, especially with these new people that I've been out with?
Thanks for a moment. I think everything of importance will be discovered in due course.
Okay, fair enough. Anything I should be looking for in the meantime?
He simply smiles at you and he almost seems to shrug a little bit. And just says,
Many paths lie before you at present. Take one. No doubt you'll make the right choice.
and he just casually stands up, arches his back, and soars up with a massive buffet of wind that blows your hair back.
She's gonna look and say, hold on to Couplet a little bit and a little wave before heading back down to catch the Z's.
As you head back down to catch said Z's, you do think to yourself that Medumai, for all his virtues and his wisdom, can be a little frustratingly cryptic from time to time. And that's not lost on even you, the most studious and most attentive of people. Can't help but sometimes get a little frustrated with that.
Yeah, and then she's just gonna go downstairs, like, what is it with these, like, sentient senpai-ass leaders and their vague-ass descriptions, like, do or do not, there's no try, this bitch. Okay, I'm going back to sleep. Like,
I'm sorry, senpai ass?
she's already gone.
How dare you? Okay.
Switching back to normal. It's gonna be too much fun. But yeah, other than that, you all complete a night of long rest and awaken the next day ready to begin whatever the day throws at you. So, as the light streams in from your various places of rest, you all get up, wake up, and get ready for the day. What would anybody like to do? Do you convene? Do you go about your own business? The day is yours.
Unless anyone specifically asks otherwise, Scotinus is probably going to finally catch up with Penelope to deliver some of the remaining ingredients of werewolf blood. The bottle of blood that I've labelled T-Rex ? I can't remember what creature it is.
It was a very large axe beak.
That sounds about right. So some of that, and the remaining of what I had left, the half of the basically I'm giving a good portion of these in the service of just giving ingredients. So if werewolf teeth are of use, I have 74 of them, so I'd offer up 30. I have 7 werewolf halves remaining, so I'd offer up 4 of those, and then of the claws I have 12, and I'd offer up 6.
She takes all of this, she examines, she asks about the T-Rex blood, as it were, and as you clarify, inquiring to its properties, she examines it for a moment and says, "You have enough here for a wickedly tasty blood sausage." Magical, alas, it is not, but it's quite tasty.
I will nod and note, and I'll retain the T-Rex blood for... I'm going to keep calling it T-Rex blood, I don't know why. And instead I will swap it out for the 4 vials of werewolf blood. And finally, after giving all that, I will explain to her the instructions that I acquired for brewing a potion of greater healing, and ask to compare her notes to see how they fare against hers, if it's something that's useful to her. And I impart the knowledge of the potion of greater healing to Penelope.
She's quite interested in this in particular and examines it forward, and interesting, I would not have thought to do it this way. It's risky to do it this way, but it can pay off.
Then show the resulting potion as evidence.
If you'd got even one ingredient wrong, this could have been problematic. The way it's typically done is purely because the margin of error under those circumstances is far slimmer. And so if something goes wrong, you're at least not going to kill yourself. That being said, no risk, no reward without risk, am I right? You've done well. She reaches into a pouch and just behind the counter and takes out a small crate, just about the size of a shoebox, and sort of hands it to you. She bade me have this prepared for you.
I take it with some degree of reverence, but also some, "Oh, what's in the box?" And I'll gently, but like a kid that's trying not to show how excited they are and trying not to do the jump when they think they know what they've got for Christmas, gonna bring it over to my little work desk, and then carefully but excitedly and with some speed open up and see what I've got.
You take it, you open the box and you just see scrolls upon scrolls within the box, and you sort of peel through them one by one, and you realize that they're very similar to the scrolls that you have been studying with her in particular. But as you sort of unfurl one, you notice that there are some of the images begin moving, and in other places, as you sort of tap a glyph as it instructs you to, you hear a voice begin to recite a sort of recorded illusion of sound, and it's you come to realize as you read through all of them that there is, or that you sort of more and more that you go through this is a far more advanced and magically enhanced form of learning. The combination of sort of the far more these sort of illusion magics that have been to create the visual images, as well as the sort of sounds to sort of create a far more engaging form of lesson making, make it far more can't words today. creates a sort of all-encompassing learning experience that is designed to simulate having a teacher present directly.
Ooh.
These should help you master the lessons, even when I'm not around.
I am honoured, thank you. But, of course, these are great when I don't have a teacher to hand, and I'll close the box and I'll put it to the side. But there's nothing quite like the real thing. And I'll spend the rest of the day training with her if she will allow me, and then I'll kind of muck in as best I can around the shop to kind of make my dues. And I'll just effectively, until I'm summoned by anyone else, I'm just there working effectively, and sort of clocking off the hours and days needed for the proficiency.
She will graciously accept your assistance there and resume her duties, brewing and preparing. She actually has a fairly big order in at the moment. You help her brew a lot of different, well, actually not a lot of different, a lot of the same kinds of potions at the moment that seem to be a city commission that are largely just, well, not largely just, they are enchanted liquors. Various sort of casks of wine are brought in. She's tasked with enhancing them to make them very special. What would anybody else like to do?
Don't we need to pick up some money? Money. Or should we go get some money and then buy Butch a new weapon? Because we have to go back to Doctor.
So you do recall that you have some Hydra parts that are kind of reaching the limit of what's considered fresh.
So that's probably something we could do. We could also check out the board to see if there are new things, because that's how we met Lazarus, I think. So maybe there's some new stuff, unless someone wants to kill their dad. But okay, great.
I presume you guys are having this conversation over breakfast, so I'll say that the table next to you guys just kind of casually stares at you like, the fuck? Before they just return to there.
It happens all the time. You never know.
Yeah, say we should take care of those Hydra parts and look into getting some more money so Bacchus can get his fun new toy, I guess.
It's at this point that I'm like face deep inside a haunch of meat, just going, "What? Should someone say my name?" Got gristle dripping into my beard and congealing with all the other fetid things that are in there. What?
Lovely.
It's alright. Just keep eating, buddy.
You, oh, sorry, go ahead.
Then you want to take us back to your friend so we can get some money so we can get our other friend a new weapon and maybe some healing potions.
Yeah, I've got Plummet here, so waiting outside. We can fly on over.
Easy enough to do. You, a short while later, convene at the Decathia. Full disclosure, have no fucking clue what that guy's name was, so for the purposes of glossing over that, I will say that you find him again in his workshop, and he's a bit surprised as you lay out basically the entire carcass of a Hydra. But he is ecstatic. He's like, this is perfect. He just holds up this slick glistening organ that's like a venomous green. Oh, I can do so many things with this. And he just meets it all out. Oh, I have much to work with here. I have no doubt I will arrive at the conclusion of my experiments. Thank you so much. You've earned this. And he just plonks a big sack of clinking coins in your hands, Bithynia.
So, but
Arcadia's going to look at it and be like, power head again? Thank you. It was an interesting task, but we were able to pull through and do what was needed.
You always were a diligent and meticulous one. It's why you were my favorite student.
Then she stands a little taller. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Is there any further assistance that you need with this, like processing, or because I mean, is there other additional help that you need?
You're welcome to assist, but from here on out, I am rest assured very capable and very eager to begin. He basically just full on like cow teat style starts squeezing like bile out of this organ thing onto a giant bowl. It's a little like. But so you're welcome to stay and assist with that.
I'm good. Thank you, though. Maybe I'll just come back after you have more information on what you're doing.
That's fair. Personally, I find this part very soothing. Just.
Okay, well, have fun. Don't lose any fingers.
Alright, let's go. Before we get any splatters on us. That.
Bithynia, I have a question. As we're walking talking.
Talking.
I ask you a question?
You can.
Well, when we were last
Sorry, you messed it up. That's the only question you get.
When we were last at the Degatia, somebody called you Lady Bithynia. I was just wondering, should we call you Lady Bithynia, or can we just call you Bithynia?
You can just call me Bithynia, that's fine.
Should we like go with like cute nicknames like Butch? You can be like Bit. No, that's stupid. Thin. Yeah? No, that's...
You hear in your ear, Hilira. How about BB?
This is nasty. This is just TMI. Talk to her yourself. Anyways, so Ronas thinks you're hot. What?
Just FYI, he said BB as in BIBI, not
I heard baby. That was way cuter. I'm gonna call you baby.
At this point, sure, I guess.
It's fun because you have like the Eldritch Blast thing is you're like a BB gun.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that is true. That
I'm
is
gonna.
true.
Hold on.
I don't know if BB guns existed in where I'm from, but
Eldritch Blast. We've got the emote now.
BBs.
So, you know what? For the hell of it, I'll say BB guns, maybe not per se, but there was a game that Decatia students would like to play involving little clay pellets and the catapult spell. So sure, I'll say BB applies.
So BB. And then what would your nickname be?
I don't know. Like Hill sounds kind of stupid. Lear also sounds very stupid. Lear,
I mean, anything has to be better than Trap Springer, which has been the ongoing name.
Amalia just chimes in and says, "How about Zoom Zoom?"
Zoom Zoom? That feels longer than my name. Like if you're in danger, you're not gonna be like, Zoom Zoom, help! Oh, now I'm dead.
I would be.
Your plushie. What is the name of your stuffed plush unicorn?
Rojo.
What is it?
Rojo.
Rojo? And did you
Ronos?
say that it glows?
What?
It shimmered? Did it? I
I
don't
can
know.
make it glow. I will grab my unicorn and I will cast light on it. Now it glows.
That is technically correct. The best kind of correct.
I'm down, Hermes.
That was Medomai.
Yeah, I know, but we know where that quote came from. Come on.
All right. Well, it's not Hermes who said it. It's the bureaucracy grey dude, the alien.
Touche, sir. Well done.
So everything you'll look over. Well, whatever it is, whatever the nickname is, you're right. It should be short and not long, and it should be something that reflects who you are or where you want to be, but also doesn't give too much away. Should we
have like undercover names? Like, if I'm like in danger, like I'm not Hilira, but I'm like Trisha.
Maybe you can go from Hilira to Mountain.
Yeah.
You'll
Okay,
never, you'll never put two and two together, ever.
Okay, so I'm Hilira, but if I'm in danger, I'm Mountain.
It sounds better than Mounds. We want to improve the nickname, not Mountain, right? And a hill below a mountain. Mount Terra. This sounds...
I feel like we're getting a bit off track.
I have intelligence points in areas and special set of skills that are not in naming things. My Tristan's name is Couplet because it's poetry in motion, okay? I didn't exactly go far with this naming scheme.
It'll come up naturally, you know?
Well, if it was my way, I'd name everyone something else, like haiku, stanza, couplet, you know, things of that nature.
If you find a name for me, let me know. It will be my danger name. Cynthia, do you have a nickname?
Me? No. Not that I'm aware of, no. But, if you can think of something that you think might be fitting, by all means, go ahead, yeah.
Think about it. Okay, let's go. Let's go count our money and get weapons. Let's go, baby.
You make a pit stop to count out the money, and you have in total 7,000 gold in there. Which was the maximum promised for successfully bringing back every single valuable part. And Ice, you said you wanted to go to the Crucible subsequently, is that correct?
We wanted to go get Butch a weapon. So we'll pick Butch up from breakfast, then we'll head over.
Easy enough to do. And soon enough, you guys are back at the Crucible. You knock on the door, as it seems to be locked after you tried initially. There's no answer.
Oh no. Is there like a like where a key goes? A keyhole?
Nope.
Look inside the keyhole.
There is no keyhole.
Okay, is there a window?
There are a couple windows at the front, yeah.
We'll peep.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Cool. Perception, where's my perception?
I've never heard you say cool when it was a high roll.
19.
I stand corrected. You peer through, you know, it's a beautiful sunlit day, so there's not much getting in the way of seeing through. Daxos keeps the shop well maintained, so the windows aren't frosted over or dirty or anything. Just empty shop. Was it not empty as in, like, the stuff's still there, but it looks... And it's a little weird, because it's the equivalent of, like, 11 a.m. Like, shit should have been in motion by now.
Should we be worried?
This seems kind of unusual.
Just want to say, if you need me to break that door down, I'm more than happy to bust it open.
Well, do we want to try and like get in first, or like see where Daxos is? Or we break down the door? Like, what if his door is like super expensive, and then we can't buy you a new weapon anymore?
Well, if we break down the door, can we not just take what we want and then fuck off?
No.
Well, no.
I mean, okay,
Just
fine.
no.
Okay, we're not allowed, but what's stopping us from doing that, apart from this door?
I'm stopping you from doing that.
Daxos is our friend.
You guys are no fun.
Don't steal from friends, but
Fine.
so now what?
What are you guys doing?
Does anybody have a knock spell prepared or something like that, maybe?
No.
A what spell?
Knock to open the door.
Is it sentient? I can maybe persuade it.
Can I seduce the door?
You can certainly try.
What can Arcana get me?
Splinters.
Arcana will give me that, yes, this is a door, but I do not have a way of opening it other than touching it. And then...
Bithynia, make an Arcana check. Why not?
21.
You do spot just in the crevices where the hinges are, just a wide series of runes, and most of them are centered around abjuration and evocation, and you get the sense that Bakios should very much not try to knock this door down.
Bakios. When it comes to knocking, you're more than welcome to, however, I propose not doing that.
Oh.
Well, so to clarify, they're centered around if someone tries to break the door, like, so a lot of the triggers seem to be around physical damage to the door per se, as opposed to just knocking.
Maybe we could try harsh language. That normally breaks me down.
Well, we can talk later. But for now, Scotty, this may be something.
Am I with you guys?
Are you?
I don't
I don't
know.
know.
Did you guys go get him?
Oh my god. I'm gonna get Scotty at the next shop we go to. I'm going to get one of those monkey backpacks for Scotty with a leash. He's never too far from us.
Proof.
You can get him if you want. Penelope's establishment is not very far.
And on the session he says, "Oh, it's okay. I already have a leash, but you know, I'll just come with you for now."
I could try and test sending. See where he's at.
What is it you're trying to do exactly?
This door has runes on it. This door has runes. I don't know about the sending, but that's a thing that's going on as well, as of your arrival.
You can try and pick the lock.
You want me to pick a lock? I can try.
Are you
I've
good at
never-
that?
No. I can give it a go. I can try pick it with my hoof.
Amalia will say.
That's more booting down the door.
Amalia will say to you, Hilira, Eslin would send him messages from time to time when we were off at sea and other places like that. He always got those.
Okay, you think that's the best idea?
It wasn't a problem when we were at sea, was it, Scotty?
Well, I missed that cloak, but no, it worked fine.
Okay. I will cast sending.
Okay, what do you say?
Hi, Daxos. What you doing? Are you safe? At your door?
Okay. just double checking that was the end of the message. There's about 30 seconds pass before you just hear... Oh, right. Okay, I'm coming down. Hang on. And about 5 minutes later, the doors just open of their own accord, and Daxos is at his counter. Hair's like still sort of like not kind of properly done or anything. Looks like he's just woken up. He's like, oh, morning.
Hey, did we catch you at a wrong time?
No, you're fine. You're fine. Just no, I'm good.
Seem a little hungover.
Late night.
Is he hungover, or did he have company?
Make a perception check.
I will. Go. 10.
10? Okay, well, your passive perception is higher than 10, so I'll say as he's sort of being non-committal and casual, you very blasé see a woman just step out from the sort of area where they, leads to his forge, and then like the area that goes up to his penthouse, and she's dressed in, you swear it's one of his chitons. Just bare feet on the pavement, casually strolling. What strikes you about her is that she has beautiful glowing blue, not quite glowing, but she has blue hair that seems to ever so slightly glow, and the tips pale ever so slightly in the almost like sea foam as it sways almost unnaturally as if it were underwater. Oh.
I feel like I interrupted something.
Daxos kind of just like you can almost hear him wishing the earth would swallow him as he like scrunches up his face. And this woman catches your eye, Scotty. Oh, good to see you again. And you recognize Defili.
Wow. You look regal out of the water. You flop a little bit like a fish.
You don't say. And she just playfully nudges Daxos, and he just, you swear he leaves a mark on the bench as he clenches his fist against it and just wishing he were anywhere else in Theros.
No, it's to each their own. If the sensation of being trampled to death is your thing, it's all your best. Anyway, what are we doing here exactly?
Question, did you say that to Daxos or to
I said it
Defili?
out loud.
Okay. Defili just kind of casually, just non-committally goes into the forge area, comes back out holding a jug of wine, and just what looks like just a strip of jerky, just right. You can do whatever it is, whatever little sale or game you had going on, but I was quite happy enjoying a lazy day, so...
Yes, of course, the sun is still out. Be careful you don't burn. Lovely seeing you again. So, seriously, what are we doing?
Good seeing you too. Tell, Calliope I said hi. And she just tears up again and says... She, pecks Daxos on the cheek and says, "You know where to find me." And then just strolls upstairs.
I say, with enough volume into my voice, I say, blink twice if you need help.
I'm fine. So, who's up for talking about literally anything else?
How about we go around the room and talk about the last time we fucked? It's for me. Daxos, what about you?
He just looks at you and says, I can turn this place into a volcanic caldera in 4.8 seconds.
Is that how long it took you to come last night?
Can you blame me? It was your mother after all.
Oh. Well, if you're expecting my comeback, I'm sorry. She swallowed it.
Your mother swallowed it.
I'm just joking, you know.
Are you here to buy anything, or are you just here to be assholes?
Little column A, little column B.
He's kind of just looking back and forth, like, yeah, what? Oh, have we got the money we need for these purchases? Have we got everything we need? How much have we got? We can do the transaction, and then we can go back to Daxos playing the living sacrifice to the golem upstairs.
Okay, I don't know what happened in Vashiros, and I'm sure it's not all entirely unwarranted, but she's not all that bad.
True, perhaps. In the light, in certain phases of the light, she may be quite alluring. For me, I choose pitch black. Again, let's just do this and go. I'm surprisingly uninterested in dilly-dallying around this area for much longer.
She stuck her neck out for you, Scotty. I wouldn't just write that off.
She had her own intentions.
We all do.
My intention is to keep as far away from her and her own intentions as possible.
Very well.
Right. Bithynia. How much do we have? And Scotinus is now putting on a bit of a very obvious mask of a smile, but it's just very like, okay, let's just get this over with.
I believe we have 7,000? 7,000.
On top of what you had before as well.
Yes, so she's going to discreetly say that. We've got about 7,000, but the deal's always good to get if we can get things for cheaper.
So
and then we have additional funding as well from previous things.
Yes. So...
Can I throw one wrench in your plans, by the way? A third wheel, if you will, a third option. Or, browse my store. And I should have mentioned there's several different items of various rarities and things like that throughout the store. It's not just what he listed yesterday. He can go into more detail if you want, but
Well, I know it was the grappling throwing weapon.
Yeah.
was a good one.
You also do see like a beautiful ornate golden helm just perched on a helm plinth in an area of the store, and just a series of, in a glass case, various different jewels and amulets and rings that all look interesting in one way or another. There's a sort of shield that's made out of like some sort of animal hide. A couple bags of holding, like a pot of what looks like some kind of dust. And, just swords and stuff like that that have various different bits and bobs in it. But he looks at you, Bacchios, and says, Anchorin, I know you had your heart set on that war scythe, and it's still there. But what do you think of this? And he sort of pulls out from behind the counter a just length of about 4 feet of rope. Just basic hempen rope. Although you do notice that there's a few different, it looks like slightly ornate, like there's little bits of embroidery on it. So it looks like like a nice rope. Like maybe you might find as part of like a carpet, like, you know, that kind of like rope carpet or like curtain rope. But it's a cord of rope.
Okay, apart from hanging somebody with it, can I kill anyone faster with it?
You doubt this thing's abilities?
I mean, listen, I like big and I like shiny and I like deadly. I don't know what lies beneath, but I'm not looking it. And I know you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, right? But I'm judging a book hard by its cover.
I'm sure you, if you have such faith that it is useless, I'm sure you won't mind a demonstration.
Crack my neck a bit like, bring it.
He,
125 hit points, I'm sure I can take it.
He looks at you, He looks at you, Helira, and says, "Can I borrow your helmet?"
Sure.
Takes the helmet, ties the rope around the helmet, and just starts spinning it almost Thor hammer style. And it starts to get, like, faster and faster before he just flings its sling style directly at you, Barkios. He's, like, taking a few steps back at this point. He's going to make an attack roll.
Bring it. He's doing it again.
Are you resisting at all?
No, I'm just stood there. I'm
okay.
Used at this point. I'm fully taking it.
Okay. So he's going to make the attack with advantage, which is good, because right now his strength isn't very high. Does a... okay, I don't have his stat block up in front of me, but I think it's 17 total.
Just hits.
Okay. You take... So the helmet, like, comes free from the rope.
Yeah.
And you take... Where is it? I'm so sorry. .18 of bludgeoning damage as it hits you with what feels like the force of a catapult. And just boom.
What the fuck was that?
I call it the colossal portable hand trebuchet of walloping.
I'm trying to think what the acronym of that would be.
I think I was doing the same thing and I didn't get it either.
I couldn't get it either. The CH trebuchet of walloping.
The chow. The chow. I don't know.
The chatao. The chatao.
Okay, so
what exactly does this thing do?
You can use an action to to wrap the rope around a payload within 5 feet of you that that weighs no more than 300 pounds. It is no more than 3 feet wide on a side. It can be carried effortlessly whilst it is wrapped that way by a medium or larger creature that is attuned to the weapon. Other creatures experience the full weight of the carried object. The rope is 25 feet long when untied and seems to rustle even in the slightest of breezes. Whilst an object is affixed to it, it functions as a flail that deals 2d8 bludgeoning damage instead of the normal damage for a flail. It has both the two-handed and heavy properties. If the rope is carrying a payload and acting as a flail, you can use your action to sling its payload at a target. The ranged attack has a normal range of 30 feet, a long range of 90 feet, and deals 3d8 bludgeoning damage on a hit, or 6d8 if it hits a structure. Strength is your ability modifier for the attack.
I wouldn't be allowed to attach my Great Axe of Spite to this because it's more than 3 foot long on its lengthways, right?
Correct.
Shit. See, if you had said, no, actually you could, I'd be fully on board. What are the properties of the scythe again?
The scythe does a d8 lightning damage and you can make once per turn. You can make a arc of lightning do an extra D8 damage to a nearby target. I think it's also a +1 weapon. Double check that. Nope, just a D8 lightning damage. Once on each of your turns, you can do an extra D8 lightning. An extra 1d8 lightning damage to a second target within 10 feet of the first, provided it fails a DC 15 dexterity saving throw.
Now, I know that you guys are being supremely generous, but this axe of mine has been with me for a very long time and has never let me down. I think you should focus on yourselves more. I appreciate Daxos. That fucking hurt, by the way, and that was awesome, but that's not the way that I like to fight. I like to get up close and personal. I like to physically feel the life force of my enemies die in my hands.
You can still use this as a melee weapon.
Oh, shit.
He points out, yeah, it's a 2d8 flail that basically watch them crumple like a tin can.
Oh, okay, nice. How much would we be talking?
Given its purple quality powers, 17,000.
Well, fuck me. I mean, I don't think I even can count to 17,000. Yeah. I mean, listen. I've got 10 gold on me, and I don't imagine myself ever having more money than that. So, no, I can't afford that shit. No way. 17 grand. Fuck.
It's a purple rarity item.
Yeah. I mean,
because I guess you can do it each action.
Yeah, so it's an action to it's an action to fasten it and be a separate action to launch it, to be clear.
Yeah.
But it's still basically every 2 turns you can do 3d8 like ranged like catapult damage and also explode. It's also 2d8 bludgeon damage on each hit.
Oh yeah. That's broken as fuck. But at this point, I'm going to have to respectfully decline unless you are feeling insanely charitable and you want to just give it away. But I can't. No. Not today, son. Not today.
I mean,
what I know.
I might be willing to lower the cost or give the war scythe away for exchange for a little work, but I don't know what else you guys have got going on.
Okay. I'm interested. Work, you say? Well, we just fucking killed this big meaty motherfucker and all of his henchmen. We're pretty roided out. We can probably do it.
Excellent. Does he speak for all of you?
We're not agreeing just yet.
I imagine just a tumbleweed whirling through the stuff.
Let's see what's on the table. And perhaps if there's enough incentive, we can agree, and some element of a down payment might be useful. We might be able to find some way to achieve what we want and get what we want, and then have your whatever you need. So what do you need?
Tell me. Do you guys...
Let me guess. You have a vampire that needs slaying upstairs.
If only. Does anybody know... Okay, you get 2 and you've used them. Now pipe down. Does anybody know what a magnetar is?
Would I have known that? Would I have recognized that name?
Roll I'll say history or nature check, your choice.
Ooh, which one of those is better for moi? Oh, definitely, history. Oh, no, they're both the same intelligence modifier. That's literally a plus 0 modifier. Oh, 8.
Nope, you have no idea.
I don't think it would make sense for Scotinus to know, but he will say is magna related to magma, some form of lava thing, maybe?
Magna with an N. They are enormous beasts with a unique power over metal. That's where the name, the ability to make it obey them. That's where the name comes from. Magna, like magnetism.
Scrutinus doesn't fully get the concept of magnetism, but he goes, right, kind of. Like the kid that kind of just passed GCSE physics. He goes, right, sort of, okay, I get it.
The ability to attract and repel metal. And he just, as a demonstration, just does like you hear a long sound as he clenches his hand, and Xanthia, you're like pulled 5 feet forward just against your will. Not in like a necessarily aggressive way, but it is just like, just as he's just demonstrating like sort of like a telekinetic power over metal.
Oh, sweet. So I'm looking down at my like armor and my bone great axe, which has got a wooden handle, and I'm like, oh fucking A, he can't control me. Oh, I say let's fucking go.
There's still iron in your blood.
Yeah, but
I'm kidding, that's way too small.
Unless you get seduced, right, by the smoking hot babe in a bar, and then takes you out in the toilet, and then injects you with iron, right, and then sends you off, then I think you're going to be fine.
I also saw that play. Ionos Michelinos was a fantastic actor.
Kudos.
Well played.
The only thing that does spring to mind is that certain metals can be affected and others can't. I've been doing enough research into hematology, I guess, to know that there's probably a risk of all of us, regardless of what we're wearing, that we could be affected, as there is some metal that you have in your blood.
Very true.
Wait, how the hell do you know about this fucker? What?
I don't know about that. I know about blood.
I'm not talking about you and your blood shit. I know you know about blood shit. I'm wondering how the hell you know about this magnemite looking motherfucker.
Me? Oh, I don't. I'm just going from what he said, that he could attract metals.
No, I'm literally looking at the shopkeeper. I'm literally looking at the shopkeeper, and you're just like.
Every time you speak, it just looks like you're looking in the same direction, and I can never tell if you're looking towards me or in the other direction. It's just this weird like perception thing that's always very confusing.
I'm talking about you now, not to you.
Right.
Let's let the man speak.
I don't. What was the question?
How do you know? I resist the urge to rage.
Can I just say that was more the DM asking you like that than like genuinely like, what was the question?
My character, your shopkeeper,
sure,
Mr. DM, and asks, how do you know about this Magnemite guy?
There's not just one, it's a species of creature. However, one has been sighted near the Four Winds Plateau.
Where do I know where the Four Winds Plateau would be?
You would be, yeah. It's not actually very far from... You guys passed it on the way to Meletis. It's a day, 2 days travel north of the city. You can actually see it on the map you guys have now.
Nice. Okay. So what are we talking right here? We talking, we go, we kick ass, we bring back proof of its body, and you give me that hoity-toity rope, no questions asked.
I will more or less.
When you say more or less, now, I've been fucked like that before, right? And I had to break some skulls.
I will clarify it. Number one, do it, I dare you. Number two, I will be upfront on the more or less right this second. The deal is, you bring me that Magnetar corpse, so I can build cool shit out of it. I will either waive the entire cost of that war scythe, or I will deduct that war scythe cost from the rope.
How about you completely comp the rope cost if we forget about you fucking that golem-looking motherfucker.
Now this, see, I knew you had an element of business, like physique. I'm very proud of you.
Listen, when it comes, right, to infidelity and questionable life choices when it comes to fucking, I'm kind of an expert. So,
let me ask you something. You. Do you know the first thing about her, or are you just going off of what Scotty's been doing? Tell me one thing about what's her name? Zaxos like holds up like a zibbit to you, Scotty.
It's not even
Listen, all I saw was those rock pools, right? I didn't really pick up much on the name.
Her name is Defili. She's like me.
Defili. Oh, you like feeling up to Feely.
Sure.
Oh, sorry. One quick question as a deal. What race is Daxos?
Daxos is a half nymph of Oread parentage.
Fair enough.
Yeah. I didn't cover it so much previously, but specifically Xanthia and Machios, who are meeting him basically for the first time, you recognize him as half-nymph almost immediately, just due to the fact that his hair is that sort of unique color. But you've never heard of an Oread half-nymph. Machios, you in particular, the only tales you know of, or the encounters between Oreads and mortals, usually end with a pile of ash, still wearing the boots it walked up to the Oread in. So that one had a child with a mortal, much less even tolerated a mortal's presence for longer than 5 seconds, unless being offered tools and other things to destroy as a ritual sacrifice, which is something that some artisans do in Akros. They don't really interact. Oreads are sort of the most virulent and ill-tempered and unstable of all the, like a volcano, of all the nymphs. So it's that an Oread half nymph exists is unheard of until Daxos. Both Oread and Lampard half nymphs have never been heard of. As a Defili, you would recognize as well that Defili in particular was a Naiad half nymph, with her sort of cerulean hair that seemed to pale at the tips as it swayed, almost like sea foam.
Alrighty, makes sense. Good stuff.
And Daxos just elaborates and says, "Look, it isn't easy to come across someone that sees you for who you are, not just what you are. So,
oh, you're a sweet guy as well. Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, that being said, right, if we were to take this job on for you, right, two questions. One, have you asked anyone else to do this, and did they die? And then, do you know of any specific weaknesses that they might have? Because we would really like to just be able to do this as easily as possible.
They don't have any specific weaknesses, but cold is useless against them, so just avoid that. Everything else should work as normal."
Excellent. And have you sent anyone else so far?
I haven't. I was honestly going to go kill it myself.
Oh.
But
why don't you come with us?
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, here we go. This is the roll, chaps. This is the roll.
Last time we succeeded on this, it was a right raucous time.
Well, it's a +1, so wish me luck. Oh, that's cocked as hell. Okay, that is a dirty 19.
Shit. He thinks to himself for a moment and says, "You know what, why not?
Yeah.
Could be fun."
Let's fucking go.
And you guys are okay to all go immediately.
I ain't got no plans.
10 minutes to let Penelope know I shall be pausing my stuff returning. And also, I need to collect something from there, but I'll get around to that. But otherwise, I'm good to go.
I'll ask as the DM, does anybody wish to do anything else, just in general?
Just grabbing my research, or the teaching scrolls. That's all.
Okay.
Just a quick question. The trident is not ready yet, right? Like it was...
You still have the pieces. Are you talking to Daxos about it?
Yeah? Yeah.
Okay. Wait, you want me to put it together?
Unless you have a better suggestion for someone who could do it.
I assumed you knew something I didn't. You think I can put this together?
I guess not.
Even if I knew how to put together the enchantment of a god, and I'm not saying I do, but I know to. This is Auramite. You want to see something? He just grabs it with a pair of tongs and leads you into his forge area and holds it over molten lava. He then just dips it into the lava. Pulls it out again. Nothing. It is glowing, but it is unscratched. The only forge hot enough to light and work this material is... And he just goes to say that and he just stops. No.
What?
No, I'm not going back there.
Going back where?
Don't play dumb with me. I'm not going back there. Hilera and Bakios, you know exactly what he's talking about. The heart of Mount Velos. And I presume one of you would say this at this point.
I would keep it to myself.
Okay.
I'm very distracted by shiny things.
Mm-hmm. Feel free to have a peruse while you're at it as well. Tell me if you're looking for anything specific.
Well,
I spent my life near those places. They got the Messiah, and I got cheated out of a childhood.
Okay. Well, I don't want to force you to do anything. So, but thank you for your knowledge.
You can tell that there's just a few pangs of guilt on his face. But he seems to be trying to fight them back at this point.
So, if we do this, it would make sense for Barkios to be well equipped as we go into the fight. And of course, you'll be with us, so...
Oh, of course, I'll be with... Of course, I'll be with you, so, what need is there for him to be well equipped? And besides, he's got his fantastic axe that is perfectly suited to this encounter because it's made entirely out of bone. So really, he's already as best equipped as he could be. And he just flashes you like a...
Oh, so you're saying that it's not worth us buying it at all, then?
I'm sure I can sell it to someone else if you don't want it.
Look, if we are going to go travelling together, then you know we're not going to run off with any of the goods that we are going to end up earning in the task at hand. And if we fall, well, you'll be able to take whatever that we've taken from our rotten, magnetized, squishy corpses, and you'll be absolutely fine. On the other hand, by having them in the first place, we might, who knows, we may find that they are somewhat useful. So maybe we should just do all the trading now with all the tools and the things we're buying and be equipped before we go out, rather than not.
Make a persuasion check. I will say with disadvantage because he's also a charismatic individual, and he knows what you're doing.
Fair enough. A persuasion check at disadvantage. Well, I shall take that disadvantage, and I shall roll 14.
Tell you what, impress me, and then you can have it once it's all one and done. The original deal stands. He's what he basically says. Or I could get Defili to come with me instead. I'm sure you wouldn't mind being shown up by her.
Well, it's always useful to have some fodder to scare off the ilk. Perhaps she can lead from the front.
She has her own business to attend to anyway. Are we going or not?
I've run out of retorts to talk about Tefili, so I'm happy for us to do whatever we like now.
Oh, good.
For now, don't worry. Give me like 2-3 minutes. I'm sure I'll come up with something. Do we want to get this spike? We do still have the 7,000 gold that we want to put in. Do we still want to go get those things and then go from there?
But then I want to get something. I wander up. Thought you wanted to get something for Couplet.
Oh yeah.
I think it made couplets big.
Yes.
How much was it?
5,800.
Quite spendy.
5,800. And how much is the spike? The spike and the couplet thing. How much does that come to?
13,000. Sorry, 12,500. So 12,800.
We got a 1,000 off because we traded in the tree falling thing.
You got 500 off because you traded in the tree falling thing. You got 1,000 from Eslin.
So 1,500 for...
And it was a little more than 1,000. It wasn't a whole lot more than 1,000, but let me pull up the actual number because it was a percentage of a larger profit margin, which would be considered your royalties. 1,172 gold.
1,172 plus 500, 1,672. How much was it in total, did you say?
12,800. If you were to take the discount on the hand trebuchet instead, it would be 10,000 for that, which would be 15,800 for that and the collar.
I'm leaving the trebuchet just for the time being, but we can all try and work out the things together. Okay, so 11,038 minus 7,000, which is the results from the quest, meaning the total outstanding amount to get both those things, not including anything. So this is a value that doesn't include any amounts that anyone else is putting in. 4,038 is what's left after the money from Eslin, the 500 for the weapon, the 7,000 for the payment for the iron scale hydra. It means we're 4,038 to go. Scutinos can cover it. Okay. He has 5,075 gold pieces. So if I take 4,000 away from that.
Whilst Scutinos is doing math, Helida, was there anything you wanted to look at? Daxos says,
To bargain a little bit.
and what did you want to bargain on, pray tell? He sort of just like looks rapt.
On everything we got, can we got a little bit more of a discount if I tell you a secret?
It'd have to be a pretty good secret.
How much do you want to take off? Will you judge after I tell you the secret?
Oh yeah, that's how this works.
With 38 gold pieces short, make it a good story. I kind of whisper to Hilira.
I will go in and whisper in his ear about what I learned about Baragon and Pyrrha. That I scried on them, and if I'd scried at the wrong moment, traumatized.
Okay, yeah. I think I met this Pyrrha person once, and she was nothing like that, so... Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. That was pretty spicy.
38 gold worth of spicy?
Only if you promise to never ever bring up either of their names around me ever again.
Sure.
Thanks. The not having that mental image is worth 38 gold for me.
Alright. In that case, the entirety of the funds for the Iron-Scale Hydra, plus the 4,000 gold that Scotinus puts in, plus the 1,000 and bits, 100 and bits from Eslin, plus the 500 for the axe, brings it down to 0 for both the spike and the couplet trinket.
While you're thinking on that, can I interest you in this? And he sort of pulls from a case a beautiful purple dress that just flutters to the ground.
Who are you showing that to?
The ladies.
Okay, right. Yes, Scotinus is looking at it as well, going, it's a nice colour, but I'm alright.
What is it?
It's called a dress of many pockets.
Love.
It has 6 pockets that can be magically shown or hidden. While wearing the dress, you can use a bonus action to cause any number of its pockets to appear or vanish from it. They can be located anywhere on the dress, and they needn't be in the same place each time they appear. Each pocket's about large enough for a small parcel, measuring no more than 4 inches in any dimension and weighing no more than 2 pounds. While a pocket is hidden, its contents are magically moved to the inside of the dress, and even distributed throughout it so as not to affect its delicate appearance.
Wow. What does it look like? Is it like off the shoulder? Is it like a wraparound dress? Tell me.
It's so it has sort of elements of that Grecian style of dress. So it's very similar to Meg's dress from Disney's Hercules in its style and appearance, particularly the fact that it's purple as well. So it would be, I'll say, very similar to Meg's dress from Hercules.
I've never seen, annoyingly, I've never seen a woman's dress with so many pockets. And as I look at this, I'm more and more surprised at that fact. There should always be pockets.
That's why I thought there was a business opportunity, and I made one of these on a whim.
Definitely.
Are there like 4 of them so the girls can match?
I can make 4 of them if given enough time.
But the idea like purple.
Oh, it doesn't have to be purple. I mean, this one does, but the other ones...
How much is the dress?
100 gold.
100 gold.
It's a common magical item. It's
I was wondering it might have been a reskin of the Robe of Many Things.
No.
In dress form. I was like, oh, hang on a minute. But still cool.
Wanna
Yes,
get a
yeah.
pretty dress?
If we could get one of these for everyone, that would be nice.
Okay.
Also, imagine Bakrios in a dress like that.
Yes.
Just for a moment. Just think about it.
That's great. Okay. So you want?
Oh, did we?
You want?
Yeah.
Cool.
If we
You-
have the funds.
You
that
have
is.
enough gold?
Let's see, what have I got all left?
Oh, Cynthia, do you have enough gold?
I do not. So it's
I thought you guys had more gold than this. I thought I kind of dropped a bunch.
Well, Scotty, you already paid for a lot of things, so I'll buy the pretty dress for Cynthia. So I will give 100 gold.
Is that a commission for 5 more of these as well?
Well, I'm gonna talk to the girls about it. For now, it's just Cynthia's special gift.
Okie dokie. Let me see if I can pull up this thing, the stat block for this thing.
that is very nice of you. Thank you, Lara.
Of course. I think purple would suit you really well.
Yes. I do like the more cool toned colors a lot.
Purple your favorite color?
Maybe like second favorite, but
What's your favorite?
Blue? Like a deep blue?
yes. But I guess that's pretty obvious. But
I guess in the same way that that you have a particular shade of blue
Yeah.
that you like, because there are so many. Two guesses what my favourite colour is, but there's different shades
So,
you can have.
Xanthia, you might have to refresh your D&D Beyond page, but you should be able to look up Dress of Many Pockets in the Manage Inventory.
ooh. Okay. Well done.
Does
So I
Barkios
have-
now have the spike, by the way?
Spike?
Or the thing to throw to latch and...
Oh, the Sky Anchor. You wanted to get that one as well.
Well, the amount that we put forward was for this. I think it was the.
Barkios wanted the scythe, the lightning
Sorry,
scythe.
Oh, that was it. Oh, fine. Never mind. Then that was it. Okay, I just wanted to make sure I've got the right things. Yeah. So you've got that, and Bithynia has that. Okay.
All right, 1 second. Hopefully someone else made it, because I haven't gotten a chance to yet.
Okay, I can't find it yet.
So I literally just added it from the browse homebrew section of D&D Beyond, so it might not have synced yet, but okay, I've done the same thing with the Cobalt Scythe, so just keep refreshing and eventually you should both have those items.
Cool, thank you.
No problem. Daxos hands you the Cobalt Scythe, Barkios.
Oh, goody. Oh, goody. Scythe. I cannot find it in the inventory.
So yeah, I literally just added it, so it may have to refresh a few times. It's Covolt as in Covolt Scythe.
Cobalt, yeah.
I don't know if there's any. I've still got a little bit left. Actually, it's not a huge amount. I've still got about 1,000 left, but I don't know if that's worth keeping for potions or anything. I currently, potion-wise, I just have the potion of... Oh, I have 1 potion of healing and 1 potion of greater healing.
I've got a few things that would fit that budget if you're interested.
Sure.
He to us any specific parameters or?
Wooden stake? Whatever you've got.
He just looks at you like, sighs.
Actually, perhaps, I now have and I kind of show, because my robe's kind of fairly free-flowing anyway, which sounds creepy, but you can kind of get it, but just because I'm covered in fur, it's fine. But I show that I kind of like show the tattoo that I've got, and I go, I have some wardings on me now already.
He looks at that and says, "This is one of mine, and Penelope's. Where'd you get it?"
Someone that wasn't using it anymore.
Fair enough.
So you're saying that? Well, maybe I should have.
We sell them for money.
Fair. Who had it? Who was it that did have it?
Pirra.
Yeah.
I couldn't possibly say who had it.
Hold on.
Yeah.
He believes you.
No, that's great.
That was a shitty insight check.
But
I mean,
there's
good for you.
point in me wield armor doesn't suit me anyway, but I get the impression that a shield could still be useful. But I run out of hands. Do you have a way to have a shield that I can have on an arm, or something that I can kind of...
In terms of something that floats or sort of is mounted to you.
Either or. I mean, the floats would be cool. But I mean, I imagine the mounting option is...
I could make something like that, but the floating thing, I could make something like that, but that would take time and more money. I have this, and he sort of pulls out it reminds you of a kite shield, but only because it seems to be made out of a giant scale of some sort of beast. And he says, made this from the parts of the shell of a bullet. It's a little better than a regular shield at protecting you. And it's enchanted with 4 charges. You expend 1 of them, and when speaking the command word, and when you do, you can, within 30 feet, sense something just by the fact that it takes a step. As long as you're concentrating. So yeah, it's a +1 shield that, with 4 charges, you speak the command word, and it'll give you tremor sense out to a range of 30 feet for a minute.
Cool.
Or until you drop or stow the shield.
Wait, hang on, let me just double check what feats I actually have again, because I half the time forget. I do have Warcaster, so that's okay. I have Warcaster, so what am I filling my heart? Yeah, shield, and then I can have a blade, and I can still... Yeah, I don't need 2 hands for it. Hand, horn... Yes!
Does level in Bard give you shield proficiency?
Aha! Now that is a great question.
I don't recall Bards even innately being proficient with shields. In Beyond should say if you have shield proficiency or not.
No, I do not. I do not have proficiency in shield at all.
So you could use the magical ability, but you wouldn't gain the benefits of it.
Right. What about if you were able to enchant one that could just hover? Would I? I've never used one of these before. I'm the big. So if one was empowered to follow me around, would I need to tell it what to do?
Probably, and unless you wanted it to have a mind of its own, and this is going to start to get very expensive very quickly.
Not going to work then. Never mind.
He alternatively thinks for a moment, I mean, I've got that helm, but that's way out of your price range for 1,000. That one's 5,000. He thinks for a moment. Let me show you what I've got. And he pulls out a few different things. He does. Maybe this would interest you. Pulls out a ring that you look closely. It's made of silver, but seems to have been cast in the shape of like a tiny candle that's sort of like melted wax that sort of forms. So you see a candle that has like wax dripping off of it that sort of coalesces and forms into the loop of the ring. It's all made out of silver, but it's sort of a very unique cast that makes it look like that, with a teeny tiniest little candle wick on it. This one's called a Ring of Rituals. Sorry, just pulling up its thing. He puts the ring on and he speaks a command word, and you saw there's a little candle on the ring itself. They're just normal candle that doesn't require air or give off heat. Built in, that's free. When you also cast the ritual version of a spell, you can use this ring as a material component for the spell in addition to its normal requirements. You do that, the ritual version of the spell's total cast time is reduced by 5 minutes. You can only do that once a day, though.
Ooh.
Pulls it off. This will run you 800. Now, on the lower end of things, pulls out a orb that seems to have a brass needle in it. And he sort of like rotates it, but the needle stays in the exact same place, floating inside the orb every time. This is an orb of direction. It'll help you always know which way is north. So, yeah, let me just pull it up.
It's a compass.
Basically, yeah. You can use an action to determine which way is north, which it functions only on the material plane. If you guys are sailing soon, that may be helpful. Pulls out a brilliant ruby that seems to be perched on the end of a chain.
Because it's red, he likes the look of it. Ooh, that's lovely, that is.
And you look at it closely, it seems to be... It's about 1-inch ruby etched with eldritch runes. And Daxos simply says, press this into a weapon for at least 10 minutes and you'll attach it and it will take on the form of an adorned jewel. Thereafter, the ruby can't be removed unless you detach it, or the weapon is destroyed. Not even anti-magic can make it fall off. It'll let you use a weapon as a spellcasting focus for your spells. So it's a ruby of the War Mage.
You've shown me some wonderful things that I think Bithynia or Eslin would have really liked, but aren't for me.
He looks at you, Heliada, and says, yeah. He pulls out like a bag, just like a little satchel. Can I tempt you with this as well, in an effort to part as much gold from you as possible?
Sure, show me the candy.
Takes out a small pinch of it and flicks it out into the air, and it just... And as it settles, it begins to shimmer and wave, and it replicates northern, like Aurora Borealis, within the room.
Ooh, pretty. Oh, it's just pretty dust.
It's very pretty dust.
Cool. Can I get a whip with that?
Daxos is tempted to say, if you're into that, sure, but he holds his tongue.
Scotinus thinks it very loudly.
Don't kink shame me.
Oh, neither of them are shaming you right now. He says,
seriously, all my weapons are shit.
I don't carry a whip at the moment, but I could put something together if that's what you want.
No, I just thought it would be cute, just like have like the dust and then be like.
I could make a whip, I just don't have one that I've enchanted at the moment if you're hoping for a magic whip, but I've got regular ones.
Oh, I'm fine.
Tell you what, I think there's nothing I can really. I think I'll probably end up putting it towards potions if we need them. However, on a thought, if you ever make something...
I mean, I do have one whip, but I don't know if it's a whip that you want.
Has it been used?
It has.
Has it been sanitized?
It can be sanitized.
If it's not
this is
being
just
used
poor hygiene.
upstairs right now.
It's not being used upstairs right now. He,
How do you know?
because it's in my workshop. He goes and he pulls out a long black leather whip that seems to have these red little spikes like thorns at where the handle is. And you look at the tail itself, almost resembles an arrowhead in terms of it's like a barbed thing, and so as a whole thing it almost resembles a devil's tail.
So that's what the Feely's into. Good to know. Good to know.
You have no idea, he says with a devilish grin. Anywho.
What are you doing over there?
Anywho, it is actually slightly functional. It once belonged to an especially controlling succubus before she parted with it. It's got 3 charges and regains 1d3 of them at dusk. You can, when you use it on a person, you can expend a charge. And if you're using it on someone who's friendly to you, they can gain some temporary health, which lasts for a minute. Or they can be, slightly more likely to succeed at something they're doing. Adding a d4 plus 2 to one ability check, attack roll, or saving throw before the start of your next turn. I call it the hedonic motivator.
Hashtag blessed. Okay, how much is it?
This one's 900.
Can we timeshare this? No, I don't. You can use it for like sort of like the day job thing. Tell what, we'll buy it and we'll work out the details.
You're gonna buy it? That's what you spend the 1,000 gold on?
As long as you clean it.
He casts prestidigitation.
How much was it again?
900.
900. I will pay the 900.
Okay. So, again, 1 second. Browse magic items.
I have a cool whip now.
You have a dominatrix whip.
Just wait, when we get to Akros, they won't know what hit him.
I'm almost sad to see it go. Good memories. So, I've added it to the thing, so you should eventually, like, maybe refresh a few times, but the hedonic motivator is definitely in the list. Or is it's been added. Okay, so, discussions of, my free time aside. Shall we get going?
Yes.
Give me 10 minutes to prepare. And he heads off up to his penthouse. Does anybody do anything in this time?
Strongly consider using the blood of Delphine I currently have to cast a spell that makes her suddenly acutely aware of where I am, just on the hope that it would catch her at the worst possible moment and throw off the mood. But I decide against doing that.
He's genuinely getting ready. He's not sneaking in a quickie.
Yeah, I'm gonna go and collect bits and bobs from Penelope, and when I get there, I'm going to, as a kind of feel like saying, such is the way. Looks like we will be off again, but these will be put to good use. That said, we're about to go hunting for I didn't get that. I think Magneton, a creature that.
Magnetar, that's it. Anything you think would be good to nullify its effects, so I'm aware that even the blood can potentially be affected by these. Well, it could be affected if my understanding of metallurgy is correct.
So I'm just in metal entirely, so that's not ideal, I would guess.
Penelope says, aside from stocking up on things not made of metal, wood, and stone, there isn't much I can suggest, unfortunately, other than just powering through.
Do you know much about the creature? These creatures, their effects, how, if its power retains after death, if it's things to be aware. We know that they are unaffected by cold. Anything else you might be able to hit towards?
They share a bloodline with dragons, so if you have anything that's effective against a dragon, it would be as effective on them.
I do not, but it is good to know. I shall pass the message on. Yes, the last thing I do before I go is I will see how much a potion of healing and/or greater healing would run me, and I'm going to stock up on a few more with the last gold I have, and then I'll distribute them to the group.
You don't need to give any potion or healing stuff to me. I've still got 4 bites of that cake. Or that.
Yes.
Whatever that thing is that I've got that heals me. I'm good.
The ointment, there was no cake.
The ointment.
How did we get cake from ointment?
It did specify that you could choose to eat it.
Yeah.
That is true, but...
And it looks moist and delicious, so, cake. So yeah, don't worry about me for potions, I'm good.
Does anyone else need any potions?
I would like one just in case. I would like one, if possible.
What stock do you currently have available for sale, Penelope?
Not a whole lot right this second, I'm very sorry. She thinks for a moment. I have a potion of weightlessness. Well, not total weightlessness, but if you drink this while you're falling, you won't hurt yourself when you land, as long as it's within 10 minutes of falling. So it's a potion that would mimic the effects of the Feather Fall spell.
I think we're okay. I think I have weightlessness covered.
I've been cleaned out at the moment, unfortunately.
Not to worry. You have the ingredients I have imparted, and hopefully they should be useful. And I shall return and see what goods we have when we come back. Sorry, Bithynia.
That's okay. We've got a few ways of getting people out of danger or cured if they do get into it.
You have a whip now that does it.
So So we have probably about 5 minutes before Daxos comes back. So, real talk, just for a brief moment. Does anyone have any wooden stakes? Garlic. Just. I know we have fire.
I'm curious what happened between you and Defili, honestly.
I kind of smile and nod to Penelope, and then I kind of leave as I start talking. And as we start walking, I don't know where, I guess we'll be walking back, I'll say, so we came across her when we were in Vashiros, dealing with Queen Fishy, as it were. How much do you know of the Red Plague that was affecting Vashiros?
How much would I know about that?
So the Queen of Vashiros did grace the city in a return. Basically, when Tempest returned to the city, she graced the city, accompanying them back, and expressed a moment of gratitude. So there was a bit of a brouhaha about that amongst the Triton community of the city when that happened. You know that a group helped save the city from a Sokolan, which is a shark variant of Triton incursion, basically led by this woman named Tallulah, who was known as the Shark Queen. She used a deadly ancient plague that was controlled and contained by a specific urn to basically create a pandemic within the city, and then she introduced the cure. Basically, she created the problem so that she could then create the solution and win over the people, and so she didn't even have to invade by force. They welcomed her new rule.
Lovely lady.
She was stopped by a group of people. And that's as much as you know.
Yeah, I know the main story of it, basically, yes. I've heard of it.
Scotinus's demeanor darkens somewhat. And it was sort of like his face kind of just sours a little bit as he walks. Well, this Mayavi was using secrets plundered from the tomb of a Gorgon. And that itself is... I'm still working my way through that. I still very much wish to return the original urn with the blood magic that was taken. That's currently in the university back there, but we'll get around to it, I'm sure. There was the urn with the toxin, but of course there was also, much like any nefarious villain that uses some horrible toxins to defeat a populace, always ensures there's a contingency in case they get affected themselves, and there was the antidote in a small vial. I'll send you a message by the way, Romeo, just so I want to make sure I get the name right. I know...
Where'd you send it?
In Discord.
Which I can't use, I'm sorry.
Okay. I just wanted to confirm the name. It was I think it was Phenax is the one with the mask. I know that I was given the name of the pantheon that Delphi followed. I just want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right, or if that's the right one.
Defili. Defili was a warlock of the creature known as Scylla.
Scylla, that's the one.
Which is a child of Thassa, although sometimes colloquially referred to as the Rabid Hound of Thassa.
That's the one, yeah. Cool. So
Scylla was a matchmaker. You know, Black. I thought Scylla was a matchmaker.
Vakios, make a wisdom saving throw.
That is a grand total of...
I'm not actually going to cast Feeble Mind on you, but I was thinking about it.
14. Let's just throw the name Scylla out and not expect somebody to pick that up, like the wet, meaty chunk of amazing lore that it is.
I'm sorry, I'm not from this country.
Fair enough. Oh.
I thought you missed that for a minute. Delphine had other motives with regards to this information. There is great power in the secrets of this world, the other planes, some of which are grand and can be of great benefit to others. There are other secrets that once you let the genie out the bottle, as it were, well, let's just say we wish to avoid that where possible. This secret was one such. And she had other motives. Of that, I have no doubt in my mind regarding the knowledge and information regarding this Red Plague.
You know, I really didn't. And I presume you guys are back at the Crucible at this point, so you guys just turn and she's just dressed now, but she's leaning in the doorway.
In that case, then there's nothing for us to worry about. But nevertheless, I choose to err on the side of caution. Nice to see you out in the sun.
What can I say? Meletian weather agrees with me.
You just said words and I didn't understand them.
I don't know if you guys could hear that.
No.
You just said words and I didn't understand them literally set off right after I finished talking. Thank you, Go Gaming Syndicate. That was, that could not have been more perfect if we tried. Yeah, I'm sorry. So the thing happened, right at the start when, Bithynia spoke with Medomai.
Showed it off to him last night as a quick test to see if it all worked up on Discord, and he was very excited to see your reaction. But you'll be able to see it once I upload the results to YouTube. I will make sure to clip the result.
And
Disembodied voice is talking to, but I don't think it was meant for us.
But yeah, so I'll make sure to send you the reaction when it happened. It was quite good. But Defili just continues. Yes, Meletian weather agrees with me. Anyway,
Hound, after all, I guess you're looking after the place while we're gone.
Oh yes, I've got the run, as it were, and she chuckles, and Dax's like, no you don't, as he sort of stands out. He's wearing a combination breastplate, vam braces, and greaves on top of his normal sort of skirt chitin that together form about half plate's worth of armor. As he just sort of strides forward. And Defili says, don't be gone too long, and just pecks him on the cheek. But either way, I do have business in the city, so can't be all fun and games. I apologize earlier for not saying hello. It is good to see you again, Xanthia.
Yes. I did not expect running into you here again. It is good to see you.
What can I say? I'm a bit of a... not wallflower. I'm a bit of a leaf on the wind. I wander.
Yes.
But I've got stuff to do in the city. No doubt we'll run into each other. Maybe once or twice before I've got to vamoose once more, as it were.
Yes, we should catch up at some point.
I would like that. I don't know the two of you, or the three of you, actually. She looks to Bithynia, Barkios, and Hilira.
Neverly will look over. Hello. Nice to meet you.
Charmed.
My name is Bokios, or Botch to the people that know me for more than 5 minutes.
What do you prefer I call you?
You can call me Susan if it makes you happy, but yeah, Bokios would be lovely.
You're cute. Bokios it is.
Oh, thank you very much. Just like grooming his beard down a little
right, you all have fun, and Darksos, don't die. I still need you for that thing. The magical one. Yes, fine. Right, shall we get going? Defilia waves goodbye to you guys, and you exit the shop. And Daxos has a sling bag around his shoulder, which you recognize as a bag of holding, that he sort of says, "Cool. It's about a day's journey to the Four Winds Plateau, so we should get moving. Does anybody have means of speedy transport?"
For how many people?
Your Pegasus can probably take 2. Don't worry about me, I can sort myself out, but...
Most likely we will need to... Where did we leave our horses? We had them. Oh, no, actually, no, we rented them and then they were returned, so...
Correct.
So, that's why. We will need 2, I think. My maths is on point. No, 3. Yeah, we'll need 3.
Very well, let's go.
We will head to the stables and acquire just some standard mounts.
Easy enough, Daxos, as you're helping him up with this, will cover the cost of them. They don't cost very much to... And so he takes care of that. In fact, he arranges for, as opposed to 3, just arranges for 2 chariots, which is just easier because bulk purchase, basically. And so there's 2 chariots to divvy up the people who aren't sorted out. One person can ride with Bithynia if they so wish, ideally someone who isn't armored head to toe and weighs 1,000 pounds. Or actually weighs 1,000 pounds. Also known as Heliera or Scotty.
I'll go.
Okay. Everybody else is able to mount up on the chariots easy enough, and as you get up, Daxos is sort of just standing there expectantly waiting for you guys to saddle up.
I'm going to ensure that I end up sharing a chariot with Xanthia.
Easy enough. Markios, you're with Amalia. The 2 horses that are pulling that chariot are a bit like... But once they get going, that's fine. And
Amalia, are these horses fat shaming us?
I think so.
Hilaria, can we borrow that whip real quick?
Please don't. But yeah, you guys sort of gear up and you sort of look, and Daxos is still just standing there. He's like, ready to go. Splendid. And so he just flexes his arms, and you see like sheets of flame erupt out of his back that sort of like resemble like a wide flat cone, like 2 like wide flat cones. And as they fire out for about 2 seconds, they begin to sort of focus slightly and take a little bit of shape until boom, like these wing-like shapes, like very crude wing-like shapes made of fire, form on his back, and he just and just rises into the air and begins floating.
Guess you're taking point then.
And he just soars off because, yeah, as a divine soul sorcerer of a high enough level, he can fly whenever he wants.
Of course he can.
It's, yeah, so, you know, where is it? Features and traits.
Good.
The Worldly Wings. It's, Divine Soul Sorcerer feature.
Is it not, is it at will, or is it like a 1 hour?
No, it's at will.
Bloody hell, yeah, that is good.
Cool, so Daxos is basically like, almost like Dragon Ball Z, just casual flying style next to you, Bithynia, just full on, just... as he flies along. But so it is gonna be a full-on 12-hour journey to get 24 miles to, is it 24 miles? Let me just double check this. Yeah, it's about 20-ish or so miles to the Four Winds Plateau. Maybe a teensy bit more. So it will be about a day's journey. Does anybody wish to do anything during that time?
Gonna put Plummet on cruise control.
Weirdly enough, there's a button on the back of him that just does just that.
It's like the prototype for Tesla, just self-driving Pegasus.
Yep.
There's always that really concerning bit when like some birds fly overhead and you're not sure if it's going to slow down in time to... but it did slow down, it was fine. Wow, that's impressive.
As you sort of try to get into a comfortable position while Plummet's on cruise control, Daxos just kind of like floats up and says, I could build a saddle with a recliner in it, you know.
Nah, that's fine. I never sit in chairs is the right way anyways.
Fair enough. And just glides off to take point once more. Yes, Scotty, you were saying?
I turned to Xanthia.
Well,
Where did these crickets come from?
guessing you want to hear about how I know Tefili?
Your powers of deduction are on point.
Yes, it's kind of a long story.
Graveyard,
so
middle of the
before-
night.
Yeah, we have the time, I suppose. So before I joined the group, I was seeking out some advice. I went to the city of Apikia and tried to get, well, to see an oracle there who would not agree to do so in a timely manner. And so I thought, I'll take initiative into my own hands and resolve a problem for the city, which was a sea serpent terrorizing the town. And I met Tefili there, who also had interest in killing that creature. For, yes, her own reasons. I never learned what those reasons were.
I'm sure.
I wouldn't say that I fully trust her, that she was a worthy ally for the time being. And yes.
She was very capable. She
is
instrumental in
impressive.
part in terms of the combat that occurred inside both the Temple of Thassa and indeed against the Lieutenant and Mayavi herself. That's certainly not in dispute.
Yeah, but I do see your concerns about her intentions.
There is many a story of an individual that can appear at the perfect opportunity to assist in one's own goals, seemingly with an offer that is innocent by its very nature. She could be harmless. But far more likely, she has an agenda that, were she to tell us all, I imagine willingness to assist her would change. For if not, why does she not divulge it? I'm all about secrets. I get the secrets thing. I do. And some secrets, yes, should not be shared. Like the methods to create a plague that just nearly destroyed Aslan's home city.
Certainly.
There are times when things should be forgotten, as they are not for mortal eyes or mortal minds to understand. But I doubt that's the reason she doesn't share. And I'm not going to tell you who to be friends with. We've fought a few times. I know we have not shared we know a little bit about each other. I get that. Just be careful.
Don't worry. I wouldn't exactly call us friends anyway, Defili and me. But I've learned that it's usually in your own interest to keep people on a friendlier side, especially if you're not entirely sure about their intentions.
Well, maybe. I guess on this occasion I'm wearing my heart a bit closer to my sleeve.
Just a bit.
She wished to steal something from Tharika. That's how I perceive it. I know everyone's interaction with their faith is different. Some proudly stand as champions of their faith. Others serve quietly and pay respects where there is. I don't really know where I sit along those things, but the thought that the gall that she had, that she thought it's fine. It's a sensitive subject. I will try and keep my lips a bit tighter. Just be careful. Okay?
Me too. Just keep in mind that if you keep your feelings this out in the open, I don't know how she, or anyone else for that matter, might react to that. Just stay safe.
And he turns and riding, and you'll notice that his hands, he's been clenching his hands so tightly that there's now like a slight sliver of blood that's kind of like gripped his hands tighter, and some of the wounds from where he's normally drawn his blood have kind of just like reopened. But he doesn't say anything, and he continues riding.
Are you hiding that, or does Xanthia perceive this?
I'll let Xanthia roll an insight check. Sorry, I was distracted most because your screen froze while you're doing this face.
Did it? I was supposed to say, I've kind of like, I've clutched, I thought I might drop it. So I've kind of clutched, my hands are quite tight, but then I kind of just start riding, but I don't say anything.
Xanthia, make a perception check. Or what's your passive perception?
My passive perception is 11.
Okay, roll a perception check.
13.
Scott, are you trying very hard to hide it?
He hasn't really realised he's done it.
Okay.
He recognised that his voice was started, there was a bit of a waver to his voice as he was getting. He was thinking.
Okay.
You're about to end the conversation, and the thought was...
If you're not trying to hide it, I'll say a 13 succeeds. You see the blood.
Okay. Xanthia will just quickly step a little bit closer and put one of her hands on Scotty's shoulder and use Lay on Hands to close up his wounds again and maybe provide a little bit of comfort. And then she just steps away and gives him some space.
He doesn't turn around or respond again, but he doesn't flinch away. But then he just continues to ride quietly.
Very well. A day of travel passes largely without event. These are safer lands with little chance for perilous encounters along the road, especially a well-trodden road like the one to the Four Winds Plateau. You pass a couple of villages along the way, much like how you did when you returned to Militis. And soon enough, the massive plateau gets bigger and bigger and bigger until you are right beneath it, and Daxos touches down and says, "The sightings came around a mine, about 2 miles from here. Come on." And sort of picks up again. And a short little while later, you arrive at the point where he says, and you do see a little camp that has been set up with various workers in the process of gathering ores and things like that. You would notice that many of them look a fairly bit dejected. And Daxos just touches down. Sun's setting. We should keep that in mind. Sort of hails them. Yeah, sorry?
What is it known what kind of things they mine from this mine?
Make a perception check. Oh, did you ask the question?
No, I think I'm probably looking to see if I can...
Make a perception check.
Yeah. 24?
Yeah, you've seen plenty of this stuff before. It's iron ore.
Oh dear.
Makes sense. They don't normally risk getting this close to civilization, so has to be a worthy bounty. Sort of hails someone who looks kind of like they're in a position of charge over, and Daxos is like, "We heard tell of the beast." And this like sort of burly Goliath fellow says, "Thank goodness. You gonna deal with it now or what?" And Daxos is like, "Yes, we are. Tell me more about what happens." "Well, we try to do an honest day's work, and this big metallic fucker comes down from the cliffs, bounds his way over here, and I ain't letting my men die, so we run for the hills. It takes what it wants and leaves. This was supposed to be a prosperous and profitable endeavor. I have to close shop before long." "I see. Rest assured it will be dealt with." Turns to the rest of you guys. "So, you have far more business, or far more experience working together as a cohesive group, I assume. I'll defer to you in terms of the game plan."
I would like to walk straight through the front door, kick it down, and see what comes out to fight us.
So pursue it up to its habitat. That could work.
I mean, unless anyone else has got any bright ideas.
That tremor shield might have been useful right now, but oh well. Hilira, are you able to sense certain creatures or things, or you can ask yeses or nos, I suppose, to help guide so we're in the right location, or so we start tracking it down. Do you have anything that could help with that?
I can do locate creature, but I don't know if it's a creature.
It is.
Okay. You want me to do it?
You can if you want.
How long does it last, or is it just does it just go? Is it straight away, or does it like allow you to home in on it? Is it like a pigeon?
I'm gonna refer to you just said words. It's a concentration spell that lasts an hour. Okay, we want to do that now? Sure, okay. Thanks. I'll cast Locate Creature.
Okay. What's the range on that?
Infinite? No, 1,000 feet.
Okay. You extend your senses out in every direction and you hear Ronos say, "Let's have a look-see around, shall we?" And, you don't pick anything up.
And I just kind of start, like, running around the area.
And as you do, Daxos comes up to you and says, "Let's hold our horses. They said it comes down from the cliffs. We're gonna have to go up."
And I just wasted a spell.
It lasts an hour.
I'm not sure you did. And he sort of fires out his wings again and just looks at you and says, "Princess Carrie."
I can run pretty fast, though.
You can't run vertically.
Touche, okay.
Hey, it was an offer, take it or leave it. I can fly up myself if you want.
Oh, no. Do, like, the monkey thing.
Yep. It's funny, the flames lick you, but aside from feeling a little warm, they don't burn you at all. Cool, how's everybody else getting up?
I was planning on climbing.
Alright, we'll see you tomorrow. He just flies up with you, healing it on his back.
Wow. What a dick. Alright, I'll get to it then, I guess.
He flies back down. I'm kidding. Hilira and I are gonna scout at the very least.
Thank you.
And he's gonna fly up, and he, with you on his back, does like a coast around. And about 30 minutes later, at the edge, sort of, you get to the very top of the plateau. You feel a boom at the edge of your senses.
It always works. It's over there.
Alrighty. And he sort of sets you down on the high point of the plateau and says, Bethany, I presume you could have come with them with another person as well. So I'll say, for the purpose of Brody, you've got you, Scotty, and Hilira are all up there now, having followed Daxos. And he says, "Stay here, I'll get the others. Bethany, can you help?"
Of course I can.
And flies back down, and Bithynia, you can take one other person. And Daxos is staring both at you, Bakios, and you, Amalia, and says, "All right, I can do this," but he reaches into his bag of holding, pulls out a, and I'm only saying this because it's literally the only way. He pulls out a potion that's sort of like a black ichor that seems to have a giant toenail in the middle of it. Pops it. Puts puts the thing back in his bag, and after a second, he like sort of expands like Arnold at Mr. Olympia level musculature as he drinks a potion of stone giant strength.
Jesus.
This is the only way this is gonna work, and he just boom, like actually is able to carry both you and Amalia now.
Fuck.
Because otherwise you would have exceeded his carrying capacity.
Very much so.
And he manages to get you all up there around about the time the potion just about starts to wear off. But over the course of about an hour, as the light's getting lower and lower, you guys are at the top of the plateau, and you feel these winds buffeting you guys left and right as so it's not snowing, but just the sheer force of the wind from being at such a high altitude is getting to you a bit. You're like, oh. Not you, Xanthia, you're fine.
I'm gonna change into the winter, the mountaineering clothing that we used when we were hunting Baragon.
Very well. And you still got the thing up, Helida, so Daxa says, okay, lead the way.
I will lead the way.
And you guys travel together? Can I get a marching order?
I'll go first.
I'm at the front.
Go with Bacchios.
I'll hang out towards the back then.
Very well.
Wait, is it smart to have the healers at the front?
I mean,
Well, no, that's why I said
Maybe-
I'm at the front. The
I
big
have to
beefy
be
boy
at the
tank.
front.
Well, you could be just behind me.
Because you know directions so well, Butch.
Well, you could give me directions. I don't mind you being a backseat D&D'er.
Okay, fine. I will just hold your shoulders and just...
That works.
Okay, so the grand total at the moment is Daxa. Sorry, no. Hilira, Xanthia. Sorry, say it to me one more time. The marching order.
Hilira
Butch.
back. Yeah, Butch, Hilira.
Okay.
okay, maybe I'll hang by in the back then. So I'll go last.
Okay, so Butch, Hilira, Scotty, Bithynia, Amalia, Xanthia.
And is Daxos flying overhead?
Yeah, basically. I presume you parked Plummet further back.
With the other with the chariots and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, the chariots didn't come with you guys. It was an up, but Bithynia would have had to take Plummet up to the top of the plateau, so I'm presuming you've tied him off to a tree or something like that.
We shall see how that goes when we come back. Ah, crap, we lost them again.
Very well. And you travel. And these are sort of far rockier, steeped, grassy hinterland cliffs. It's alpine type of a biome at this point in time. There's places where you have to climb, and other times where Daxos literally has to ferry you guys one by one across a small ravine that isn't anything monumental, but it's further than a mortal could leap reasonably. Scotty, you're actually pretty okay at the moment with your little goat legs. There's a couple moments where you're pretty much mountain goating it in terms of just like perched in an impossible position. You're like, what? I don't see what the big deal is. But about 15 minutes later, you cross a bend and you see a small little goat's path that goes round a corner.
Do I know how close the creature is right now?
I'll say at this point in time, yeah. So the spell's still running at this point, but barely. You get to sort of just a point where it's very close, less than 500 feet. No, sorry, less than that even. It's less than 200 feet, but then the spell fades.
Okay. So I just kind of lost the spell. I'm whispering. Do we want to, like, do, like, the sneak thing where we, like, spread out and, like, whoa?
Well, that depends. Which direction do we need to go in?
I will
And how close
direct.
is it? Okay, let's go sneaky, and let's and let me shove my axe up its ass, and then hopefully we'll kill it before we need to fight it.
Okay,
Does
everybody agree?
Does this thing see in the same way like a? I'm imagining like a big worm. I don't really have any reference to kind of get this. Does this use the tremor sense like you were talking about that shield before, Daxos, or like how does it see, or?
Well, it can see without any eyes or any kind of sight like that within 60 feet of it. That much I know. And it can see in the dark to a certain degree, but that's it. Other than normal sight.
I'm thinking we're fighting. I don't know if this is right because I've not looked into it, but I'm anticipating basically like a big metal worm, or like some or like a bullock basically. So Scorsese goes, we might as well. We may find that it sees us anyway, but then the plan will change.
Very well.
Might as well.
Let's proceed. And you all set off. I need everybody to roll a stealth check if you're going to go quietly, and Daxos is going to roll his own stealth check.
No.
Oh, here we go. Right, this is another important roll. Stealth. Oh, not bad.
Well, not completely crap today. 16.
But then you're.
And I have disadvantage.
Daxos rolled 17 and a natural 20 because he has disadvantage, so that is a 19.
And then.
Oh, right, Amalia.
Then there's.
Amalia also has disadvantage. Natural 18! And a natural 15, so I think that becomes a 16 total. I don't know what Amalia's dex is.
Well, Bathenia, from her position in the line, rolled a 4 and yells, "Why are you all being quiet? What's going on here?"
Rolled a 12.
Okay.
Yeah, and with the 10, Scotty just turns around and says, "What we were saying, that we're trying to sneak forward so that the thing doesn't hear us when we get further forward. I mean that we're trying to." And then it says, and then whispers the same thing quietly.
Like, what did you say? Like,
I said.
what's going on?
And you all, like, bump into each other after, like, boom, 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 boom. And you come to a stop as you realize Daxos, who's in front of you guys, has just stopped. As you guys have been walking, having this bickering conversation. And you guys all just look at what he's looking at, and you hear a... As you staring down at you guys is a huge T-Rex-like creature that seems to be reptilian in nature, but be covered head to toe in these growths that resemble iron ore deposits, just covering its body. It looks a lot like if anyone's played Monster Hunter or Baroth.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Like this big hammer-headed T-Rex, except it's seems to be made out of a metallic, like a dull gray metal color. And it just goes... I need everyone to roll initiative.
Yeah.
Hell.
Fucking go.
And why don't I activate...
We're fighting a creature that makes the sound of a broken bass.
He's all about that bass.
I'm gonna fucking murder all of you.
Does this mean we're in trouble?
Oh, no!
What? I don't get it. Anybody? Ali?
What? I don't get it.
Me neither.
Oh,
I don't know why.
I'm sorry, Rebecca. I'm sure that was amazing, but oh, trouble.
oh,
Oh,
oh, man.
Rolled a natural one.
I want a 24, but I'm not ready to go first.
I'm going to cross out the adult and put ancient for that pun.
No.
No, we got this fine, guys. It's fine.
It's really not, but okay.
Oh, that threw me one.
Okay, so let me just quickly get Firefox ready.
You mean I've made 2 different people in this party cry? 2 down, 4 to go.
That's it.
That seems to be the plan, certainly. Okay, I'm gonna transition to battle mode.
Yeah.
Okay, can I zoom out and cool? Can everybody see the battle map?
It's in darkness.
Oh, right, because Bakios, you can't see shit. Okay, I'm gonna disable the darkness, but so just for the record, it's dim light is what you're sort of experiencing at the moment. Mine's configure. I'm gonna turn off the darkness level. And let's switch up to battle music.
Yeah. Finally, after being level 10 for 3 sessions, finally get a fight.
Hasn't been 3 sessions.
Two sessions?
2 sessions, yeah. All right. Speaking of 2 seconds, while I just quickly realign the size of everything. I deeply apologize. Okay, has everybody rolled initiative?
Yep.
Okay, 2 seconds while I roll for Daxos and the Magnetar. Scotty, could you Jaeger Amalia?
Yep, copy.
Thank you very much. Oh, I'm going to use the fiery die for Daxos. Man, I'm rolling great tonight. So 17 for a total of on Daxos 19. Let me just create an encounter. Update combatant 19. And for the Magnetar. Oh. That's not good. Just double checking if he doesn't have any initiative modifiers. Nope. So, take commandant. All right, 25 to 20.
24 for Skatinos.
Jesus.
20 to 15.
19.
What's your dex modifier?
+3.
You go before Daxos.
Nice.
Wait,
I got
yeah, you do.
well.
You got 19 as well, Bithynia?
Yeah, but I only have a +1 to dex, so.
Okay, so you go... I'm going to put you at 18.9 just so the program puts you ahead of everybody else but before Dark. But behind Daxos. Bakios, I'm going to update you to be 19.1 so that the result is achieved to do that. 15 to 10?
16.
16, thank you. 15 to 10, anybody else?
7 for Amalia.
Okay, and what'd you get, Hilira?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
My computer is breaking. 9.
Okay.
9.
So, top of the initiative order, Scutinos, it is your turn.
Before we get started, sorry, Scotty. I still cannot see anything on the battle map.
I'm not sure why that's the case. 1 second. Okay,
Which we still got the regular setup.
Oh, shit. Okay, so on Twitch, you got the new setup. So token vision is available for this map. I don't know.
I see now.
I see the map on the Twitch chat. That thing's a beast.
When you gave the analogy from Monster Hunter, it suddenly went, oh, okay, yeah.
Well, so, fun fact, that literally is a Baroth token that I recolored. So you can thank Keora on Patreon for the Baroth token. I simply applied a few texture filters in GIMP to make it look metallic.
It's good. It's good.
So,
It's good.
I don't know why you can't see anything. There's no, oh, yeah, an unrestricted vision range. Save changes. Is that okay?
Hello.
Yeah.
I thought I already did that. My apologies. Okay, so Scotty, your turn.
Okay.
Just FYI, if you did take Sanguine Thrall, I did prepare for that.
No, sadly. I was another level of Bard, so...
All right.
Yeah, we'll get there. We will, I promise.
Just for the record, this is what it looks like, if you ever...
Oh, mate, yes. But one day.
One day, continue.
For now, we die. Scotinus is going to move 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. And as he's running, he's going to shout, does this thing even have blood? And he's going to cast, because he doesn't know yet, I'm going to cast Dissonant Whispers. I'm going to cast it at 2nd level through the horn. So as I kind of run, shout, and then hiss through the horn for a wisdom saving throw, please.
Easy enough. Wait. I'll do you one better.
I'll have that. I'll take that. That's good.
Natural 1.
Fantastic. Okay. So it takes 16 points of psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction, if available, to move as far as its speed allows away from me. Creature does not move into obviously dangerous ground, such as a fire or pit. If it's a deafened creature, it automatically makes the save.
Okay, it's not a deafened creature, but it will use its reaction to move. So that is a straight plummet to certain death. Like,
as far as it can go,
yeah.
Cool.
So
We kind of caught it in, like, basically we've caught it in a position where it can't escape unless it kind of went past us.
So you can see that there is more, like, there is land that can be traversed with some amount of climbing to your immediate behind you, maybe, but it does look like it's got limited options in this area in particular.
That's all right then. I will. I have another 10 feet of movement, so I will go 40, 45, and that will end my turn.
Okay. At the end of your turn, he's going to use a legendary action. You notice at this point in time that just sort of attached to its back are tools and pickaxes and swords and just all kinds of metallic bits that seem to be creating an additional layer on top of him. And you watch as one of the swords ding, 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 ding. Just gets repulse launched towards you. Does a 23 hit? Scotty, does a 23 hit?
Yeah, it does. I was working out if with my new AC and the shield I could get away with it, but no, that would hit. So yeah, I take that.
You take 14 points of piercing damage as this, as the sword gets magnetically repelled in your direction at a blinding speed and just whoosh, makes a massive laceration in your arm.
And as my reaction, I am going to use 2 sorcery points as I've taken bludgeoning damage, and I will cast another
slashing damage. It's slashing. Sorry, it's piercing damage. Piercing damage if it makes a difference.
Yes, piercing because it pulls it out there as well.
Okay, good. No worries.
Apologies, that was my mistake. And I will cast a second spell, and this time I will cast. I still don't know my answer, so I'm going to cast another Dissonant Whispers at 2nd level.
Okay.
So as I kind of hit out in pain, I just continue to let the Baroque.
Natural 2. Fuck me.
Okay.
It has no reaction, so it can't do anything.
But it takes another 8 points of.
What was the first amount it took?
16.
Okay, so total 24.
Yes.
Okay, good. At the end of that, it is, following that... Oh, I didn't even begin combat. It is Buckyos' turn.
Right. Well, first things first. I'm looking at this thing, and I'm getting pissed off just even being here in the first place, trying to do something for somebody else. So I'm going to rage. And you. So I would like to take on my aspect of the dragon, gaining 20 temporary hit points as scales erupt from all aspects of my upper flesh.
Okay.
My wild surge is going to go. That's a 1. Shadowy tendrils lash out around you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet must succeed a Constitution saving throw. Is it 30 feet away from me?
It is just 30 feet near you.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Constitution saving throw, please. And I also gain another 12 temporary hit points.
That is a 25 on the Constitution saving throw.
That saves. Yeah, that saves. So does it take half? Do it take half damage then?
What does it say it does?
It doesn't.
Then it would take no damage.
It would take no damage. Okay, so shadowy tendrils just sort of lash out of my body, wrap itself around the creature, and it seems to struggle.
They kind of uselessly slap against this thing's almost solid iron hide.
Like that. And at that point, I'm seeing this, and I'm still really pissed off. So I'm going to charge this fucker, and I'm going to attempt. I'm going to attempt a shove action. I'm going to attempt to shove it off the cliff.
Okay.
For an instant win, and we can go and get the body later.
Make a strength. Make an athletics check.
At advantage?
At disadvantage because it is considered huge.
What would that because I get advantage because I'm raging?
Cancels out.
Would it be a normal roll then?
Yeah, it is considered huge, so there would be a normal roll.
Fair enough. I will take that. 24.
Skills.
9.
So it rolled a 9 total. I'm just wondering because it's a massive creature.
Well, yeah, I suppose, yeah. Can I, as a small creature, or as a medium creature, can I shove something that's huge?
What is your push capacity?
How do I find that out?
So, your carrying capacity, 15 times your strength score is your carrying capacity, and your push capacity is twice that.
Yeah, so
50 times 20 is 100.
It's 300.
It comes
so 600.
It comes under your thing. If you go under inventory, you click where it says weight carried. At the top of encumbrance, you've got a carry capacity and a push, drag or lift.
Yeah, so it's 600. Yeah, so it's 600. We know that off the top of our hat.
Drag or lift is 30 times my strength score, so 600.
This thing's several tons. I'm gonna say no. You can't just shove it with your own strength, even a mighty barbarian. But I'll say you would know that, so I will let you. Like, you can take that. Oh, am I being too generous?
No, look, you're being generous. As a player, I should have known that, so I'm happy to just let it slide, knowing that I could have shoved it off him for an automatic win, but it's just too much, and that's a very barbarian thing to do. So.
Yeah, it's just too massive and too heavy, and it is not able to be shoved.
Yeah.
Okay. At the end of your turn, it is going to spend 2 legendary actions.
Oh shit.
Bakios.
Uh-huh.
I need you to please make a strength saving throw, as this thing you guys all hear just like a metallic pulse sound. And Bakios, you feel just a pull from your body itself. And you just, as you feel like a pull that seems to pull your blood into your face, as you feel a massive tug pull you towards the edge of the cliff.
Would this be at advantage or normal?
It is normal.
Normal. Okay, because I would. Okay.
Unless your rage gives you advantage on strength saving throws, but I don't know that it does.
I don't think it does. Bear with one. Never had to do a strength saving throw whilst I'm raging, ironically. Bonus action. Yep, you gain advantage on strength checks and saving throws, not attacks.
Okay.
So that's very good, because that's a 27 saving throw. I rolled an 18 and an 8.
27 succeeds.
Yeah.
You are not pulled within 10 feet of a direction of the creature's choosing and knocked prone.
Nice. I'll take that.
That will be the end of its turn. That will be the end of its legendary action.
Right.
Daxos' turn.
Yep.
What is Daxos gonna do?
What you gonna do when he comes for you, Daxos?
He shouts, Bakios, can you take a hit?
Oh, fuck yeah, I can take a hit. Bring it on.
Good enough for me. And he casts Molten Upheaval. Scotty, you and Amalia have seen this both before. He raises a fist and it begins glowing red hot as he chants under his breath. Then he jumps up a foot into the air. And as he lands, he drops to one knee, plants his fist into the ground. You hear a deep before a dozen or so lava geysers begin erupting out of the ground in a 40-foot area where that immediately turns into the surface of Mustafar, where you and this then the Magnetar are.
Okay.
So let me just create the area.
Oh god. By the way, because of my temporary hit points, I now have 154 hit points. So
Nice.
I think I can take it. I've got 32 extra hit points.
Oh, hang on, that's not right.
So my scales are about to be blown off, and the shadowy tendrils are about to expire. But yeah,
This is so. Scotty will tell you that this is more of a zoning tool than it is. So yeah, he's gonna do that about that to try and. Oh no! Oh shit! To try and trap this thing in terms of movement. So let me just pull up Molten Upheaval real quick. Any creature that does a spell for a turn or is a turn in the air must like a. Okay, so Bakios, make a dexterity saving throw.
saving throw. Oh, I've got advantage.
And the Magnetar is also going to need to make a saving throw.
Okay, that's a dirty 20.
That does succeed against Daxos's spell save DC of 18. The Magnetar rolled a dexterity 15. The Magnetar fails.
Nice.
So Magnetar takes 13, 18, 21, 22 points of fire damage.
I take 11, right?
Correct.
Alright, as soon as that damage hits me, I'm going to use my reaction of Unstable Backlash with my level 10, and I can roll my Wild Surge again.
Nice.
So that's it.
You actually, because this is a magical effect, you sort of seem to like, you guys watch this, like some of these like tendrils of smoke and like heat radiation seem to get siphoned into Bakios and boom, he sort of radiates again once more.
I can teleport up to 30 feet to an unoccupied space I can see, so I'm going to do that now, and I'm just going to bamf out of there. I'm going to, bamf out of there, just in front of Scotty over there. And then just give it the finger as I bamf in and out.
Very well. And Daxos is going to take a few steps back to sort of rally with you guys this way.
Yeah. That's my reaction.
Okay. Next up, it is your turn, Bithynia.
Woo. Okay. Oh.
Question: did you level up?
Was that a thing?
Yeah, you guys.
10 now.
I in fact did not level up.
All right.
So I'm just gonna go with it. It's fine because I.
Are you sure? I'm sure we can level up real quick if you wanted.
Because I don't. There's only one question I have that will make one. Yeah, I will. Please hold intermission.
Wait, is it? No, what's the elevator song? Can't remember.
Let's take this opportunity to say that now that we're an affiliate channel, you can now subscribe and get Drachmy points for emotes and other cool benefits. A random encounter.
Are you deciding to be the Sam Riegel of this operation?
Yes, absolutely.
That's fair.
Cries in 3 blasts at level 11. Okay, I just did a temporary level up. I didn't add anything, but I did extra like HP and stuff like that. So
yeah, that's important as well. You've had a long rest since then, by the way, as well, so you can bump that up to full. Not just you've had like several long rests since your last fight, so you can go ahead and take one of those if that.
I've been playing this game. Hold on. Okay. Yes, indeed. Okay.
I mean, if you want to go into this fight with 34 hit points, you are welcome to. I just
playing on hard mode already.
Yeah.
I'm not really feeling like fighting a whatchamacallit today, so as much as I do love my Balgorf or whatever they're called. There's so many awesome spells. And it's not really damaged yet at all.
It's taken a few hits, nothing massive.
All right, we'll start with Eldritch Blast to play it safe to see how it is.
Very well.
Start.
Go ahead and make 2 attack rolls.
A love tap. 20 for the first one.
20 hits.
6 damage on the first, and then I'm gonna try to lock and load again, and 22 on the second one. And
22 hits. How much damage on the first, sorry?
6 and then 4. So total, 9. So
10.
6 on the first and then 9 on the second.
Oh, sorry.
So
13. 6 and 9, yeah. Very good. Boom, boom. You definitely knock a couple of the iron deposits on its back off. A few tools and swords. Cling, clank, clatter to the ground.
yeah. Okay. And then she's gonna look around. All right, who's next? All right, that's just the introductory portion of this episode. I'll be doing a little more next time.
Okay. Next up, it is Xanthia's turn.
Yes. So first off, Xanthia will kind of follow the others towards that part of the cliff thing. I think here. Yeah. And that will be her movement, and just, you know, an old classic, she'll cast Bless. So everyone within 30 feet, which should be everyone if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Consider yourself #blessed.
Very good.
No, hold up. It's 3 creatures. Hold on. Okay. In that case, Scotty, Bakios, and Hilera, you'll get blessed.
I'll take it. Thank you.
That's my turn.
Very good. Hilera, it's your turn.
I had a lot of plans, they all went down the drain, it's going great. Would I know if we can move into the lava space? No, right? That's stupid.
It's not lava, a GM note, so you're not going to take like a bazillion damage as soon as you get into it, but it will do damage.
I think, you know, if you succeed, you get 11 hit points. You fail, you get 22 because that's...
It's 66.
Yeah. Oh, oh, so you re-roll it each time. Okay.
I'm just gonna go with an old classic, and I'm gonna do... Let's do a 4th level guiding bolt.
Okay, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Sucked. +4, that's great. That's a 19.
19 hits.
Yeah, okay. Good. Oh, that's really good. Okay. It's loading, it's counting. 25 points of damage.
95. Oh, 25.
Yeah, 2-5.
Okay, sorry. There was some amount of pizzazz to the way you said that that made it a bit hard to understand.
Yeah, it's Dutch, you know. It happens sometimes.
Of course, of course.
And the next person has advantage on attacking them.
Okay.
I'll stay in my spot.
Very well. It is the Magnetar's turn. It's going to turn to face you guys. And let me just check something here. Nope, wrong thing.
Oh, that looks fucking egregious.
Oh, dear.
Hold on, I'm just checking something here. It's gonna... If it moves over here, which it can do... Oh, wrong button.
Damn mathematic dragons.
Oh, I can't... Ah, damn it, I can't rotate this, can I? Nope. Okay, yeah, it is going to do it this way. He's basically going to get into that position, avoiding Scotty entirely. And you just watch as all of the swords and different bits and bobs on its back just ding, 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 begin to like clatter and vibrate before an absolute scatterstorm of tools and shards and metal and shrapnel fire out in a 60-foot cone. Can I get Bithynia, because you're on the edge of it, Hilira, Xanthia, Daxos and Bokios all need to make dexterity saving throws.
Question as well. Is it you say all? Do you mean all?
Everyone whose name I just called out.
And when you say everything on its back, do you mean everything on its back, or is there still stuff left on there?
No, it gets this ability back on a 6.
On a 6. Oh yeah, it's like a breath weapon. Okay.
This is a breath weapon. Oh fuck!
Like a breath weapon.
It is a proper dragon, isn't it? Jesus.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20 succeeds. 15 fails.
Oh no!
22 succeeds.
You've got your bless. Oh yeah, you've got your bless. Add a D4.
Hashtag
21. But yeah, I still succeed.
Am I blessed as well? Or no?
Unfortunately not.
I'm blessed. Sorry.
Yeah, you're literally living the blessed.
I am. The full hashtag blessed right on here.
Daxos rolled a 18, which just succeeds. Did anybody get lower than an 18 total?
I did. Bithynia did.
Okay, Bithynia and Xanthia. Moment, please. I'm just gonna roll this in D&D Beyond.
Bithynia just takes like
I don't
note.
like.
Lots of dice.
Bithynia's gonna take a note from like Bakios and just like tap her chest and be like, "Come at me, bro." Like.
Okay. And as you say, "Come at me, bro," you are assaulted with a veritable hail of sharp metal bits and bobs that deal a total of 42 points of slashing and of 42 points of piercing damage. Everybody else, you take half of that.
I just
Okay.
Bithynia is like floundering to the ground.
Yeah. Yep.
Going to take really stupid thing to body. Don't come at me like that.
Good question. So, I'm raging as a barbarian, so I succeeded on the throw. So, I take half of 42, so 21, and then half again because I'm raging.
Correct.
So that's 10 points, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, yes. Daxos needs to roll a concentration check on Molten Upheaval. Oh, shit. So the DC was 11. And his Oh, wait, I'm looking at Bithynia. I was like, why is that? Oh, my God, he just about succeeds. He rolled a 13.
By the way.
Is Daxos blessed?
No.
Okay, who is blessed? Just remind me.
Bakios, Gotinos, and Hilera.
Very well. Oh crap, which one's the blessed again? Targeted. Oh, here we go. Yeah, blessed.
That looks amazing. Love that.
Yeah, they add it.
Yeah, it is. Is it red and goes like it's incapacitated, paralyzed?
Okay, so after doing that, the Magnetar is going to use the last of its movement to boom, 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 get into just range with you guys.
Mistake.
Okay. So at the end of that, just double checking one quick thing.
Does it
It does take some more damage from Molten Upheaval. I'm just really looking at what that is. So starts its turn. So ends the turn and it must take a dexterity saving throw. Okay, again, and takes more six. So yeah, dexterity saving throw again with 66 fire damage if it fails. That. What is its dex modifier? Dexterity plus. That just succeeds, so it takes. I'm just gonna roll it in D&D Beyond again. So it takes like 14 points.
Hey, it adds up. Gotcha, if you can put it back in the fire, that'd be great.
Okay.
Depends on the wording of...
It is Amalia's turn.
Okay. To answer your question, Buckers, I don't think I could pull it in, but I'd have to be on the other side. And I don't think it will go in because it's. I'm guessing the ground looks obviously fire-like.
Yeah.
At the moment with the yeah, I don't think it would work. Okay. So 45 feet of movement. Amalia is going to move. Because we never discussed things that we should or shouldn't do. So she's going to move 45 feet to its head.
As she gets within 20 feet of it, all of a sudden, the ferrous armor and weapons she is covered in start to repulse and attract, and it becomes difficult terrain for her within 20 feet.
All right, fair enough. So, so that was. Let me just make sure I get the mass of how far she's travelled so far, and I am incapable of doing lengths.
So she's travelled 30 feet so far, so she has 15 left.
So she'd only be able to get another 5 feet. But that's fine. So where she currently is, we can instead... why am I struggling with rulers today? Nope.
You're an anarchist.
Apparently so. Jeez. What is this? Yeah, for some reason I can't do, just draw a circle by mistake, which is not what I plan to do. Okay, well, 30 feet away from her, she's going to manifest an echo, effectively direct, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 10 feet north of Skatinos.
Okay. 1 second, spells and abilities, echo, 10 feet north of Skatinos.
And that's still within 30 feet. And then she is going to, in the immortal words of Amalia, slashy slashy.
Okay, her attacks have disadvantage because of the magnetic field.
That's fine. She will... Yeah, that's fine. She's still going to do it, so...
It has advantage because of my guiding bolts.
For the first one, so it's a straight roll for the first one.
Straight roll for the first one, okay. She's going to use the giant craft ambusher, but just in its normal mode. And that's it. Oh, that's why I can't roll, because it's not my dice. I have to use flat dice for it. So D20 is a 12 plus 9 for a 21 to hit.
21 hits.
Okay, and this is 1d12 plus 5 damage. For 12 points of slashing damage.
Okie dokie.
Does it look like it takes slashing damage well, or does it look like it's resistant?
Seemed to take it well enough.
Good.
Well, it didn't seem to be particularly...
Let's do it again. Disadvantage for the second attack. And the lowest of that is a 16 plus a 9, so that is a 25 to hit.
25 does hit.
And once again, that is a d12. Not as effective for 7 points of slashing damage.
Okie dokie.
And she's going to let out a roar, and it's just is going in for it through the echo.
Fantastic. Anything else?
No, not at this point.
Okay. On initiative, sorry, go Scotty. At the top of the initiative order, sorry, let me rephrase that. You guys begin to feel just feel like more of that magnetic pulse all around you guys. And just these waves of energy begin to radiate through you all. And Xanthia, you in particular, but Hilira also, Amalia especially. Every single ferrous or magnetic metallic thing on every single one of you begins to twitch and vibrate. I need everybody, and I mean everybody, to make a strength save. Actually, Bakios, you don't have to, because your axe is made out of bone. Scotty, I need you to make a strength saving throw.
Yep,
Bithynia.
A +4, by the way, because she's within 10 feet of me.
Yeah. And Daxos as well. Forgot to mention,
magical effect?
it is not in that way.
Shit.
It is a lair action, so it's is more of an innate thing. Daxos rolled really high, so the staff he's using, which wasn't he basically is using a hammer as like a kind of staff, does not fly from his hand, and neither does his armor.
So 10.
Rolled a 23.
23 succeeds, 10 fails.
18.
18 just succeeds.
And
Scotty, you're #blessed. Did you roll?
yeah,
that as well?
I added that, unfortunately. I only rolled an 8. And Amalia gets 19.
19 succeeds as well. So nothing happens to everybody as most of you as they hold on to their weapons and aren't sort of, you're jostled about, but you keep your ground. Scotty, your dagger, your focus flies out of your hand. And I need to roll a thing. I need to roll a d8 to determine the direction. Okay, so 1, so it flies straight up. So it flies 10 feet, so 10 feet, so where Amalia is, basically. It's at Amalia's feet.
Oh, 10 feet north.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you meant just directly into the air. I was like, oh, that's fine. I just need to not get impaled. Okay, 10 feet north. Okay, that's not too bad. That could be worse. I thought I was going to have to invoke a featherfall and go dash with my dagger.
Okay, that's the lair action. Scotty, it's your turn.
You. I'm unimpressed. I'm unimpressed.
Hate flows through you. This is good, my boy.
I'm just seeing. For some reason, I'm just seeing Delphili's face just on this dragon.
So you're full on polka dot manning it.
Pretty much.
Your mom.
All right. Well, I currently don't have my focus for my sorcery gear, so I'm instead. Am I still am I restricted in movement?
Make a perception check.
15?
You feel a burning sensation on your arm. And as you sort of try to jostle slightly, you feel like almost as if your skin is on fire in very specific areas, and you're like, right.
Yeah.
You recall that, in all likelihood, there is a metallic component to the ink in your tattoo.
Yeah, that too. Okay, well, this sucks. So I'm going to, where I'm currently standing, use, we're going to spend 2 more sorcery points to, as a bonus action, cast. I know it sucks, but I'm just going to keep doing it because it worked. Another Dissonant Whispers.
Okay.
Casting this one to 3rd level.
He rolled a 13 total, but he's going to use a legendary action to automatically succeed.
Fair enough.
Resistance.
Sorry, legendary resistance. Yes, sorry, correct.
I'll take that. That's useful. So he only takes half of this, so half of 19 psychic, so 10 or 9 depending on the ruling on that. Of psychic damage, it doesn't have to do anything else to avoid it. And I'm then going to, as my action, I'm going to disengage, and I am going to attempt to move 10 feet towards where the dagger has dropped.
Gotcha.
And am I able to pick it up?
You are just about able to, yes.
Cool. So that's 10. Is my movement halved at all?
It is halved.
Okay, so that's 10, 20.
It's less that, just for flavor, it's less that it's pulling you in a there's an amount of metal in the tattoo that would actually tug you, but it's more the fact that it hurts so much that you can't help but.
That's fair. I might have a few. I'm trying to say I may have some other small things that. Yeah, I have an iron pot, for example, in my inventory, which is probably causing issues as well. So that's absolutely fine. But yeah, so 10, 20, and then I will go 30, 40. Sorry, let's do that again. 10, 20, 30, 40, and I'm going to end up there. And that is my turn.
Okie dokie. Bacchus, it is your turn.
Right, this thing has done far too much damage and not enough taking of it, so I'm gonna swing at it with my, take out my bone axe and fucking have a go at its face.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, ooh, yes please. That is 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
Thank you, I'm gonna roll that. Ooh, very nice, very nice. That is 18 points of slashing damage on the first hit.
Very good.
Roll again. Oh, yes, please. That's a 22 to hit.
22 does hit.
Thank you. Oh, yes, roll a 12, so 23 points of slashing damage.
Very good. Nice. Whack, whack. It is surprised that you're able to move so unfettered. It's not the brightest of creatures, so it isn't sure. It's accustomed to having creatures just warp and bend around it, or at least creatures shaped like you. But sure enough, you shear off these sections of this metallic hide that just blink, blink, blink land on the ground.
What does the flesh look like underneath?
Just regular flesh, as in like just meaty, like haunch.
Oh, you look tasty.
Anything? Okie dokie.
Oh yeah.
Daxos' turn. What's he gonna do? He runs to get between Amalia and Xanthia. And he says, "Make it count, I can only do this once." And he slaps you both on the ass, casting and twin spelling Holy Weapon.
Oh, fucking hell.
Which costs 6 sorcery points, but as a Divine Soul Sorcerer, he has the access to the entire Cleric spell list to choose from. So let me just mark those off.
Oh, that is such a bitchin' spell.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Confirm. And I'll mark off that 5th level spell slot.
Who's got that now?
Xanthia and Amalia. So your melee attacks do an extra 2d8 radiant damage. As basically, Xanthia, your trident, the head begins to glow red hot before it just erupts in fire, like white hot fire. And the same with Amalia's axe.
New.
That's sick.
It does mean that Molten Upheaval fades, as it is a concentration spell, and the lava cools into just like these stalagmites of obsidian that just remain there. That area, actually, I shouldn't have gotten rid of that, because that is still difficult terrain, as a by the by. But it has cooled. And as a... can he do anything as a bonus action? Not right at present, because he's already cast a spell. He will, however, get a little closer to it if he can. Five. Oh, no, wrong button. 5, 15, 25. That's as close as he can get. And that will end Daxos' turn. Bithynia, it is your turn.
Okay, she is rough.
Oh, shoot. Let me just rearrange these.
Okay. Wait. Was someone able to drop the information for me on Couplet? Because Couplet can do some things now.
Oh yeah, pop that in the DM notes, in the player's notes thing, the player's board. I would send it to you directly on Discord, but I can't if,
Is that
right.
Foundry?
I haven't put it in Foundry yet. I apologize, I didn't get the chance to.
Can you plop it into Skype really quick?
Could someone do that? Just because, oh, Skype. I can absolutely pop it into Skype. Do I still have Skype downloaded? Yes, I do. Turning on Skype. Little spinning thing of death. Continue.
As Bithynia's sitting there loading. What to do next? What to do next?
Did Skype just quit on me? Yes, it did. Okay, Skype is crashing for me. Could someone do it?
What do you want me to send over, sorry?
Couplet stat block.
That's a summon thingy?
It's on the player's board, yeah. It's on the player's board. It's a picture.
Yep, bear with me.
I'll tell you what, I'll just quickly switch to the general chat and post it in Discord if I can. Everybody's going to be seeing all sorts of... No, not all sorts of, but... Okay, it is on... thing now. So it's on both now, should be. Switching back.
Sorry, I was far too slow.
No, you're fine. It's occurred to me it would be easier to do it that way.
No worries. Okay, I'm gonna stick with the Eldritch Blast because it was fine earlier. Ish.
Has a couplet attuned to her new collar?
I didn't put it on my character sheet, so...
That's fair enough, so we can... I was just curious. So, Eldritch Blast? Very well.
Nat 20 for a total of 29.
Nice, that definitely hits.
Oh.
So do I get to... So since I got a nat 20, do I get to try my damage twice then? Or...
Yeah, so you can either roll the die and then double it, or you can roll the die twice.
I'm gonna take the first one and double it.
Okay, what'd you roll?
18.
Total? Nice. So you rolled a 9. Boom! Definitely blast a massive section of, like, the plating around its eye socket off of it.
Yeah. Pew pew. And then she's gonna lock and load her next Eldritch Blast, see if it has the same oomph. 24. 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits. You watch as she literally, as Bithynia's doing this, she full-on Cavill in Mission Impossible, like, reloads her fists, and then just does like a 2-bit jab, like boom, boom, to like shoot both Eldritch Blasts.
And the 7 for the second round of Eldritch Blasts.
Very good. This thing's not looking too good.
And so that should end my turn because I don't know if I want to risk a couplet. And also I didn't roll for them for the initiative order anyway, so...
That's fair enough. At the end of your turn, it's going to use another legendary action to use what is it called again? Damn it. It's going to use a sword shot at you again. What was it? No, it's going to use a sword shot again. Bithynia? Does...
Okay, as a reaction, before you roll, Amalia's shadow falls out of existence and then appears 5 feet in front of the shot in kind of like a...
Get down, Mr. President!
Pretty much that kind of thing. So you're rolling against Amalia's AC.
Okay.
It's against me instead.
That is a 22 to hit.
It hits and the shadow takes a...
Very nice. So yeah, Bithynia, you watch as Amalia like looks at you, concentrates, and then the echo reappears in front of you and just tanks the shot for you, destroying itself in the process.
Then Bithynia looks over. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
No problem.
She turns back saying, I need a new one because I've got a better weapon now.
And that will end its legendary action, so Xanthia, it is your turn.
Hey, now with this very lovely holy weapon boost from Daxos, Xanthia will make her way over to the thing. Do I need to roll anything to see if I make it?
So you traveled a total of 15 feet, right?
Yeah.
Because you so that would be 5, 10, you're at 20 feet now. It's difficult terrain where you are now. You've used up 20 feet of your movement. It would take another 10 feet of movement to get to where it is, but you do have a pole arm, so you don't need to get any closer.
Perfect. So I'll just attack it with my trident. That's a 26 to hit.
26 definitely hits.
Lovely. Okay, where's my D10? Is that a D10? Yeah. So that's 9 points of slashing damage, I guess, and then radiant damage in addition, right?
Yeah, 2d8.
Or that's 11 radiant.
So a total of 20 damage.
Yes.
Very well.
That was my first attack, and I'll just do that again.
Okay, very good.
I assume a 13 does not hit.
A 13 misses, unfortunately. This time you're not quite prepared and just lashes out with his massive tail and bang! Just deflects your weapon.
Okay. But still have a bonus action, so I'll try again with the other end of the pole arm. That would be a 21 to hit.
21 does hit.
Cool. So that's 5. So does the radiant damage also apply if I use my weapon this way?
There's no rule saying it doesn't.
Cool. So that's... Oh god, math. 18 damage.
Okay. Boom, boom, boom. In 2 massive hits, you just knock this thing down a peg, to be sure. Like, just more and more of its metallic scales keep falling off. It's not looking very good.
Can I turn over to Daxos and nod to him, be like, that was very useful, thank you.
It's what I do. Anything else?
That's it for my turn.
Hilliard, it is your turn.
Okay, can I run towards Bakios?
Yes, you can.
I'm just gonna...
It will cost you 30 feet to get to him. So you use 30 feet right now, including the difficult terrain.
Great. Yeah. I have 2 options. I don't know what to do. How rough is it looking? Is it like...
Not very good at all.
Okay.
It's starting to...
I'll move in front of it. So another 10 feet.
Okay.
So that I can touch it.
Very good.
I'm going to cast 5th level Afflict Wounds.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Let me just double check one thing before you do that.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, continue.
That will be 14 plus 9, 23 to hit.
23 does hit.
Okay.
And Daxos is in fact going to use a reaction.
Okay.
And he basically, as you do that, he like notices that you're doing that, and his eyes flare. And you watch as this. So he has this red sash that's on top of his breastplate, and sort of ties around almost like on one shoulder, and you just see. Just like in one motion, these runes light up and glow on it, and he will spend one of the charges on the sash to allow him to spend a sorcery point on you to empower your spell. So you can roll 5 of the dice a second time if you don't like the number.
Okay. I'm gonna roll first 7d10.
Oh.
I rolled 1, 2, 3 1s, so I will re-roll my 3 1s. So 3 1s, I will re-roll, and then I have a 4, which I will re-roll, and I have a 6, which I will re-roll. So give me a minute. This is so much math. I'm not a math person. Why are you doing this to me? I hate it here.
If you prefer, I can say he didn't do that.
Oh my god. I hate it here. Okay. Just gonna go with the damage I rolled because I will just re-roll my 3 1s.
Okay, fair enough.
Because this is too much math. I wasn't born for math. 10 25 35 35 plus 7 is 5 6 7 42.
42.
And the last one is a 4
45.
35. Sure, I believe you. 46. So 46 points of damage.
How do you want to do this?
Nice.
Oh, okay. I just touch his snout and just go to sleep. Just go to sleep.
Which is interesting because you then watch as Helena sort of like astral clone of herself that she uses for these things splits off, and then full on like death by 1,000 punches flash style, and just like straight up darts all around it, like hitting it again and again and again until it's just like. As like these crackles of necrotic energy seem to just split its skin, and like more of its shale just falls off and just collapses over, dead.
Yeah.
Cool.
And combat is over.
Oh, fucking sick. Well done. Lyra, you're a badass.
That was amazing.
Thanks. I was actually gonna do the same thing that Daxos did. I was gonna give you Butch my holy weapon, but then I was like really hurt, and I was like, well.
Does the magnetism feeling remain, or has it?
It retains. It remains.
Oh,
And you see, even Daxos, he's not the strongest individual, and he's sort of like leaning on his hammer a little bit as he sort of like goes forward. But he's goes over to it and he just begins popping pieces of it into the bag of his bag of holding.
Seeing as how, right, I can pretty much move freely around this fucker, would you like a hand, Draxos?
If everyone could chip in, actually, and I need to make use of your own bag of holding as well. We'll have to get this whole thing inside.
Well.
So yeah, I put my axe behind my back, calm down, think about waterfalls, puppies, Ben and Jerry's ice cream, and start just like ripping these scales off and just like tossing them behind me for other people to pick up.
Daxa says,
That while thinking of puppies.
Amanda's going to use her echo to help with the cutting up of the corpse, because that way her weapon doesn't get stuck.
Daxos himself is going to also say, like, oh, this is going to take forever otherwise, and he just slams, he taps his hammer on the ground, you hear a boom, and like you see like the earth next to you guys sort of rise up and form into a humanoid figure as he casts summon construct using his hammer. And he will choose clay. So it does resemble a golem, but it is made of clay to avoid this issue. And the golem starts helping.
Daxos, does this thing have blood? I never got round to determining it.
It does. And sure enough, you do see like a sort of... It is red, but it's got like a mercury type of quality to it. Blood leak out of it.
I'm going to attempt to chemokinesis some of that and trying to cap some vials of that.
You can, but it feels like it's heavy almost. It's not actually heavy, but it's such a weird... It's a weird kind of blood, and it's enough of a blood that you can control it, but it's difficult.
It's like a treacle rather than like when I'm trying to control it, because there's...
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. So I kind of take a bit of time to kind of that as well, and I will... how many vials am I able to acquire?
With Daxos' help as well, because he's familiar with what to do, you're able to get 2 vials. This stuff is tricky to harvest.
Right, I will take and add to my bloody pile.
If you mix this right, you can create a potion that will allow you to traverse distances easily, as long as it's towards something made out of metal.
Good to know. Sure, he writes that down.
But in short order, you are all able to harvest this creature, the Magnetar, and I'll switch back to the main mode. With some amount of confidence that you guys are badasses, you start to make your way back down to the bottom of the plateau. And shortly enough, back to the city. And I'll say, just because I'm conscious of time, that is where we'll end tonight's session. And we'll pick up next week as you guys are back, with you guys basically have made the distance back to the city. Thank you all so much for everybody who tuned in for this evening. As always, we hope to catch you guys next week. Hopefully with a full house. I know we might be sans a couple people after that game. Next week we're okay though, right?
Week.
Yeah.
No, I won't be there next week.
I will not be here next weekend.
Oh. Okay, fair enough. We'll potentially... Yeah, we'll see about that then. Maybe a one-shot that week or something like that. I'm not sure about that. Not sure necessarily what will transpire, or maybe another shopping episode. Something light and breezy, saving the meat and potatoes for when we have a full house once more. But other than that, we look forward to catching everybody again. We love you all as always.
And we are DC30. Have a good one.
Hey.